Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Paranormal Chop Shop. It's Friday
How's it
night.
going, everybody?
Know what time it is. Oh, I got Papa Willie here with me today.
Oh, good.
Oh, sorry, camera's just not adjusted. He's down there.
I was wondering, like, damn, there he
He's
is.
here.
How's it going, Papa Willie?
Now, my
How you doing,
co-host Gemma is with us. Chad is with us. We got Spooky. Oh, that's the wrong side.
Spooky Bear.
Vanessa's our guest, guys, and this is going to be fun.
I'll do my best.
How's it going, Vanessa?
Dandy.
Very good. Very good. It's Friday. We made it to Friday.
Fuck me. I'm
This has been
sorry.
No, you're fine.
Oh, you can't do that in the first 5 minutes. We're going to get banned off Facebook. No,
I wasn't sure if I've done shows where it's like they don't say the F word, Vanessa.
Oh, no,
FCC
we don't have any
regulations,
followers.
No,
Yay.
we can have fun here. We can cuss.
Okay,
Yep, we don't have enough
What I
subscribers to
did-
matter.
When I was
You don't know how
dressing
we
up
roll
like
on
Dave,
Paranormal Chop Shop.
when I was dressing up like Dave doing his show, oh man, it was so hard. I was concentrating more on not cussing than I was my lines.
Mhm. Oh yeah. I started saying mother trucker for Dave's show specifically.
Oh,
That
there you
was-
go.
You know, because I'm a motherfucker. That's what I say. You know,
I like
and-
when Big Willie says French toast. What the French toast?
Mhm. Oh
He
yeah.
says big mother trucker too.
Yeah, he'll even say that just with us. It's awesome.
So what y'all want to talk about?
I would like to know a little bit about you if we can do that. Just so
Oh boy.
I always
Okay.
ask the guests, what's your deal, man?
Oh gosh.
How'd you get into this?
Yeah,
crazy
how'd you get
world?
into this?
Okay.
What makes you cool enough to hang out with us? I mean,
Oh fuck me. You know, it was a dewy dawn dusky day. It's in May. Good gravy. Born this way. Best way I can put it. I have seen, talked to, dealt with dead people since my earliest memory, 2 years old. A blessed one was my grandmother. I was very lucky, so it wasn't nothing spooky. It's just what I've done. And even though it was not always the best thing,
I've been there. Same.
it made for a very uncomfortable childhood, you know, a very uncomfortable teen years when I finally decided to go ahead and kick the door off the broom closet for the last time. It's been steady ever since. And I've been all over the world. I've written 6 books. I've consulted for TV shows. Oh God, y'all. I own my own production company and publication company. So we filmed we filmed in Ireland. We're filming in the States now. We'll be back. We were supposed to be in Scotland this past year, and then the Rona happened. And now we have to go back to Ireland, so we won't be in Scotland until 2023. I don't even know where to start. My bio is like 15 pages long. So you ask me questions, I will tell you whatever the hell you want to know. That would be so much easier.
I just want to say I definitely sympathize with you. Everyone here knows I have pretty much the same beginning of life story. Seeing the deceased, I just call them dead, seeing dead everywhere all the time. Grocery stores, kitchen table, it doesn't matter. And it did make some people are like, oh, that's so cool. And it's like, I guess
It's
now
not
that
cool.
I know what I'm dealing with, yeah. But as an 8, 9, 10, 4 or 5-year-old child, especially in school, when you're like seeing and hearing things other people can't. I was always the weird kid, so I became friends with books. But I sympathize. You sound like you have such an awesome life.
Oh God. No. I mean, I'm being honest, you know. It's I understand where the romanticism of it comes in. I really do. I get it. You know, because when people see somebody like myself or yourself or anyone else that has any particular skill set that they use on the daily, they immediately equate it to what they see on TV.
TV,
Nothing
yes.
could be further from the truth. Nothing.
I was just getting ready to ask if it was like the movie Sixth Sense, because that's the only thing I know.
That's the closest. If I'm being honest, that's the closest.
And I agree.
My particular experience is because I'm a channeler. So I'm trying to think of the best way to explain that. I just open up like a motherfucker, and they're allowed to hop in and drive me where they want to go. Okay, which is not the brightest thing in the world to do. I mean,
girl, that's brave as fuck.
Well, it's almost gotten me killed a few times.
I had someone jump me once, and I was like, nope.
No, I let them in.
Done.
What? I thought.
Oh, I was just gonna say if that was the first time. Yeah, if I got jumped, I'd be done. That'd be it.
A spirit jumped in me once, talked for 5 minutes, and now I go out of my way to stop it. You are my hero because that terrifies that I'm going to die. So I was gonna say, what was your scariest experience? And
okay, well, that's a good.
I kind of interrupted you about you were saying that it almost got you killed. So sorry, guys. I don't meet a lot of people like me.
No, that's awesome.
Probably my scariest moment, and I mean, what I consider scary and what other people consider scary are going to be worlds apart because I'm so used to the negative aspect of it. I'm so used to the violent ones. I mean, when you wake up and you've got handprints all over your body in places your hands can't reach and can't turn that way, you get a little used to it. And
doesn't it kind of become interesting at that point? Like for me, it's like, I want to know now. I'm not even scared. I want to know, like, what are you doing?
No, I know who he is. And he's just an attachment I can't get rid of. Many lives, many times.
I have a live one like that.
I've seen him behind me when I've been doing shows, like on Dave Scott's show. I hadn't even written about him yet, hadn't even described him yet. And they saw him behind me, and I was getting messages on Facebook, and they're describing him to a T. He would stand there with his hands on my shoulders. And here I am trying to do an interview like, God damn, just 5 minutes, peace, just a little bit. But probably that's not even my scariest thing. Probably my scariest is I flew out here to Virginia years ago, about 5 years ago. It was a private residence case, and it involved children, and the children were being attacked. And as a mom, that's what you don't do. I will hurt you. Okay. I might be little, but I can take out a fucking kneecap dead or alive. Okay. I straight up will do that.
I'm my kind of woman.
I'm scrappy. Okay. 5'1.5" of scrappiness. Okay.
Plus gotta add that half in there. That's when you know you're short.
Hey, I'm a little chunky too, so it helps. Okay. I mean, I got some girth I can put behind it, but we got out to this private residence, and the thought of it now, even today, turns my stomach, where you're trying not to vomit. And we were out there, we went home at night, but we were out there for a solid 2 days and dealing with, I don't know how many spirits, hundreds of spirits, many layers, like a lasagna. Okay. Many layers, many time frames, but the majority of it were Haitian slaves that were, the house itself, the kitchen of the house had been the previous slave quarters, and everything else is built around it. And I can't even describe what it was like in there, but the worst part was the barn that was attached to the property and what was in that barn and how violent it was and how it's the closest to the D word I've ever come in my life. And that in conjunction, and Gwen got jumped that night too, first time she ever got jumped. She's my business partner. That in conjunction with having about 30 of them hopping me at once and sending me barefoot down a 2-mile driveway in the dead of night, gravel, running like I'm in a marathon. Like I'm Jackie Joyner Kersey. I'm aging myself here, and having to be tackled by an ex-Army combat vet and taken to the ground as 30 of them are screaming, getting out of me. That's the worst. That's the worst. Because they were taking me to my death. I know exactly where they were taking me.
Oh my God. I got chills.
It was not fun. So that's why I get so angry. And I mean, I get like a bitch angry, like mean angry.
Yeah, no.
When people are like, oh, well, this is so cool. And I bet it's a lot like Zach. douchebaggins, and he sees demons all the time. No, he the fuck does not.
And they made him blind.
They made who blind?
It's he's rich off of it.
And that's we'll leave it at that.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
I will get real nasty and it might piss some of your people off, but I've met the man, so we'll leave it at that. But I'm not a fan. So, but when things like that come out and people talk about it like it's a sideshow act, that makes it so much harder on those of us who have actually had to deal with something so unbelievably negative that it brings you to your knees. And that's never anything I would voluntarily seek out again, much less every week.
No, I hear you.
I mean, when you'd rather open up a vein than do another investigation, that's where I was at after that first trip to Virginia.
Wow.
I almost quit.
Hey, I did it one time and I heard a noise and then I won't do it no more.
Sonny.
Yeah. You tried it one
Sonny,
time.
we could never live together then. Could I tell you, I just want to interject real quick. Last night, because I've been thinking about this and I've been wanting to tell you guys, I was Ray, RJ, and I were in the bedroom. We were tucking RJ in, and I had made like some offhanded comment to Ray, and he and I were both laughing. And RJ said, "Oh, like that one time you were laying at the bottom of the basement steps bleeding." And nobody had said anything. I was joking about, I think it was a joke about like leaving the milk in the car. It had nothing to do with anything. And I said, "What did you say, baby?" And he's like, "Oh no, mommy, I was talking to my friend over there."
Oh, no.
Oh yeah.
Interesting.
That's the only reason I went ahead and came out of the broom closet again, because I blocked the majority of it for almost 2 decades. Because I
did too, and I ended up a drug addict. It was bad.
Yeah, was because my son was showing signs of having the same abilities, and I'm like, I can't have my kid go through this by himself.
I'm dealing with it now. Yeah.
Oh yeah. The funny thing is that every single person on both sides of my family has these abilities. Not one of those fuckers, and I love them, I love y'all, but not one of those fuckers would talk about it until I came out. Not one. And now I get messages all the time, or they actually comment on my post about it. It's like I made it okay. It's less taboo.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'll take it. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. But it's not a life I would have chosen for myself.
I even noticed that. I was just gonna say I noticed that with my friends too, and just the people I work with. Nobody really is open about talking about UFOs and aliens and ghosts and stuff like that. But once they find out that you have a podcast about it, you have these people coming up to you. They're like, "So, that guy Eddie Haskell, did he really see that?" I'm like, "Yeah, man. That wasn't just for YouTube."
Yeah.
We talked to these people off air.
I saw a
UFO.
I sure did. It was as big as a football field, and I wasn't the only one that saw it. My son was with me, and he was of age, so he was about 12, I guess, 10, 12, so old enough to know,
Yeah, right.
And we were driving. I can tell you exactly where we were. We were driving down Sooner Road. I was picking him up from his dad. We were driving to our apartment, and there's a huge yellowish white farmhouse on the left-hand side, and you could see this thing hovering over that house from 2 miles away. But here's a crazy thing: the closer we got to the house, it didn't change size. It stayed the same size from 2 miles coming towards it to seeing it directly to going past it until it just went and was gone. And it was diamond shaped with the the 2 short ends and the 2 long ends, and if memory serves, it was 3 white lights and 1 red light, I think is what it was. I might be getting those backwards because it's been a cool minute and I'm an old lady, but it was either 3 red and 1 white or 3 white and 1 red.
And somebody calling, I'm sorry.
That's okay. But yeah, and it was dead silent.
That's a good thing.
It was dead silent. You couldn't hear it, nothing. And come to find out, a few years later, somebody I was working with, we were talking about it, and they remembered the exact day, and they were on a website where there was like 150 or 200 people had reported seeing the same thing on that day. So there's no one that's going to convince me that wasn't a UFO. But when I say that, I mean it in the truest sense, not what Hollywood has told me a UFO is, but in the truest sense. It's unidentified, as I cannot identify it.
Yep.
You know, it was flying and it was an object.
I'm breaking it down for you, okay? This is what I saw.
For you. It's what I saw. And a lot of people saw it.
Name of your company.
What's that?
Dude, you know how you get those, could be when you get it on your phone, they call you and it says could be potential spam or whatever.
Uh-huh.
I got a text from them, and then they called my phone.
I just let RJ answer.
The name of the company that's weird.
Yeah, it might get worse while I'm on here. I'm not joking; it's the truth.
I shut down Trippy Times last night. His stream went wonky while I was on there. Only for him though.
That's funny that
it was only on his end, but I warned him beforehand. I said, listen, when I come on live streams, for some reason, this stream, I think because of everyone's light, like there's so much light, it doesn't usually happen. But everywhere else I go, it either happens or people see things that I don't see behind me.
Mm-hmm.
This stream, I feel very safe in this stream. I've never seen a UFO, but one was hunting me about 3 weeks ago when I was at my mom's house. My son and my non-believer husband saw it in our yard going like circling our house. But I've never seen one, so I think they're so cool.
It is. It's very interesting. And I'm one of those people, I'm in the paranormal. I believe in all of that, but I'm also a very staunch skeptic. Because to me, I've seen too many people fake too much shit. So I got to break it down to the bare bones, you know, when I'm doing something. Same with UFOs. You can't tell me they don't exist. You can't tell me they do exist. I'm going to keep an open mind until I see something, and I saw something. So for me, that's proof enough. Andy Gambino had asked if it had made any noise. I saw that pop up. No, it was dead silent. There was absolutely no noise whatsoever. And it wasn't dark outside. It was before dusk.
And you could see lights on it, you said, right? Mm-hmm. You've seen lights?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was huge. Like I said, size of a football field.
And was it the shape again? How was it?
It was an elongated diamond. So you know how it would have the two short ends like this and then the two long ends like that? Yeah. Uh-huh. So it was really neat. It was really pretty, you know, but I'm not saying I wanted to hop on. No, I'm not that gal.
Didn't scare you?
I'm not that gal.
Did you have a feeling at all like it was definitely a UFO, like something, or could it have been maybe piloted by a human?
Ex-husband in the military, I've seen an awful lot of aircraft. Mm-hmm. This was not anything we had.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
not this big. It would have been the equivalent of putting what are the ships in the Navy that you land planes on?
Carrier, the aircraft.
Yeah. Imagine putting one of those in the air.
Holy smokes!
Shit.
That's
as big as a neighborhood.
Yeah, I mean, it was huge.
You know, when I think about it, though, like I said, I've never seen a UFO, and my only, I guess, encounter that I've heard, like a personal, was the one that my son and my husband told me about a few weeks ago. But from what he said, it was like the light was in the front yard. It seemed to be like over the house, like over our property. I have 2.5 acres, so that would mean it's at least that big. But if you think about it, I don't want to say when you see like on TV, or even like a lot of people in this community that I've spoken to that have experienced some kind of extraterrestrial UFO, just the UFO, the craft, they've said it's been like football field or bigger. And I always think, like, Man, I want to know how they cloak themselves. They have to cloak. I've heard that they do it in mist or something like that, but they're so massive. I always think to myself, like, how have I never seen one of these?
I have an answer for that.
All ears.
Okay. All ears. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying chew on this one for a minute. I don't think they cloak. You have to look at at whomever this is or whatever this is as being at an intelligence level so much higher than what we have. And if you go back to what they said that Albert Einstein used to say, that we only use, I think it was him, that we only use 3% of our brains. If we use and this might be misquote, but if we used our brains to the full capacity, we would never have to open our mouths. Think about that. If you're talking about a much smarter species that has that capability, that might also have the capability to affect what we can see and what we can't see, simply via sound waves or anything like that they emit from a particular craft, it would not surprise me as why, the masses might not see it, but some people maybe do, like myself.
Ooh, that's so true.
Being as
it's like seeing spirit.
Being as open as I am, alcohol doesn't really affect me. Pot doesn't really affect me. I've tried mushrooms, nothing. Nothing.
Just didn't eat enough.
No, because I would technically be what you would consider a lightweight. Nothing. And I think that it's because of being so open that those things generally bring that out in people, and I don't.
Right.
Is Spooky having a hard time with this?
No, we have.
I'm sorry.
We have a friendly troll in the chat.
Troll.
We need sexual harassment panda.
Sexual harassment panda needs to.
Where's HR in this place, man?
Spooky's too cute to put him on YouTube. We found that out.
Oh my goodness.
She likes using the N word.
I want to see the pervert. Where is he?
Oh, it's a her.
It's a her.
It's two her. And they're beautiful girls. They're always chasing poor Spooky.
Oh, they're friendly trolls. It's just funny because as you notice Spooky's face sometimes. I just looked over. That's why I said sexual harassment panda, because I saw his eyes.
That's
just
awesome.
I'm thinking to myself, why am I here?
How
am I contributing to this?
Of the pervert.
Jamie's goal on Fridays is to get Spooky to crack as many times as he can on camera without, especially during a serious interview. Friday. Oh man, she loves it.
That's a hoot.
Hey, Chad, I got them all last night on UFO Garage. I had all 6 of them crack.
On UFO Garage?
Yeah.
Why would you say?
They were asking what would happen if an alien or UFO came to you right now and said, I'll take you with me and you can know everything there is to know, but you have to leave right now. You can't say goodbye to your family and you can't come back. And,
yeah.
So they were all giving their answers, and I put in the chat, I would probably go because if my wife burns my dinner again, I'll fucking leave anyway.
Yeah, that was funny.
I remember that part. That was funny, dude.
Yeah. So it's like a game we like to do, Vanessa. We try to get each other to crack when we're doing live shows.
Yep.
Oh geez. Well, odds are it will happen with me.
Oh,
I mean, I laugh all the time.
Oh, you're a great sport. Thank you for putting up with us.
No worries. No worries. I had my own show for 5 years almost, or I was a co-host.
Oh, okay.
So totally used to it. Totally used to it. That's why I'm not one of those people that does a whole lot of edits to their picture, because how the fuck am I going to edit live video?
Yeah.
Hello. Here you are.
Yep.
Oh.
This is about as good as it's going to get today. So
Spooky, you told me I could come to your basement.
Gemma.
I'm not your friend anymore.
It is a
Spooky
big
keeps me in
basement.
the basement and forced me to write jokes.
He's got
for
plenty
him.
of room.
y'all are
Seriously though, Spooky, I was on Trippy Times with Josh Casey last night, and he really thinks that you and I should talk. Like, I'm gonna come on his other thing that you guys do. Jake Smith. Do you guys want to see what I got from Jake today?
Yeah. Is Jake just spoiling you like
guys,
crazy?
But
I know.
Say it right. Coffee.
Coffee. You have to say it right.
Jersey license plate. Vanessa, there's this thing in like every live stream I do, it always ends up that people ask me to say coffee.
That's okay. They asked me to say cornbread.
Cornbread. You are just like, I want to put you in my pocket. You're so cute. You're just like a little buzzy fae, but you're so feisty. I love it.
Thank you. It comes with age.
Last night we had Josh on here.
I'm almost 40. What are you talking about?
I will be 50 March 14th.
You're Pisces too? I'll be 39 March 1st. We can be birthday buddies.
She's a youngin'. Me not so much.
I feel like on YouTube, I feel like I am an ancient one.
Coffee.
Not when I hang out with my guys.
No. As far as I'm concerned, I'm amazed I made it to this age, so I'm all right with it. I will shout it from the rooftops. I'm an old bitch.
I never thought I was going to make like 36 just because my addiction. So I'm so happy for like every single day. And I think the same thing, like once I opened myself up to seeing, to like not blocking it anymore, like my 17-year-old son, he was actually on last week. And he said, it's like a constant pulsing in my head to block everything out all the time. And I worry because that's what I did. And that's how I ended up like using my first drug at 30. And it was the big one. Like I just went all in, because I wanted it to go away. And I don't want that for him. Now my 3.5-year-old, what he did today, and it's getting creepier and creepier. Last week, he told me that he didn't want to wait for his milk because when he chose me to be his mother, he already had to wait long enough for me to get my act together so he could be born. And now he's got to wait for milk too. And then he remembered, he goes, Mommy, remember that time when I was in your belly and you went to church for that concert and that speaker was really loud? I went to one concert my entire life and it was at my church a month before he was born. And I was standing next to the speaker and some guy comes up and he's like, hey, do you think your baby can hear that? I'm like, it is a little loud, isn't it? And I backed up. And then today he grabbed a handful of my crystals and just started naming them off. This is black obsidian. This is green aventurine. This is Dalmatian jasper. I might have told him the names of the crystals once or twice, but he's 3.5. Every day it gets more and more like bizarre. Well, remember that time when I was your daddy and we went and I'm just like, I know he's my soulmate. I know he is, but I'm just like, these things coming up. It's so crazy. I have an abusive ex-boyfriend that died of a brain aneurysm 2 years ago. This guy was really bad. He was like haunting my son and like teasing and picking on my son. My son called him the dark man.
Well,
I trapped his ass.
It does get better. When my son was 2, and this was, like I said, this is what caused me to kick the door open. I only have one living child. I've lost 6 in utero. And I lost my son's siblings when I was pregnant. There was a set of triplets, and I lost his brother and sister. And he was the only one that lived.
Oh,
so
he's still got that.
You don't think nothing of it until your 2-year-old is talking in their bedroom and you go walking in there and like, who you talking to, buddy? Because he didn't know nothing about that. And he says, Bubba and Sissy. So he was talking to his brother and sister at 2.
Wow. That's, you know what? I'm actually, I wouldn't be surprised on that. Even if you weren't a psychic, but I think with everything you said about your family and stuff, like I'd like for it to continue. But I think a lot of kids have that bond when something tragic like that happens because they're in utero. There's just something that goes on in there. They say it with twins, triplets, but it makes me nervous because my 3.5-year-old and it reminds me of like what my 17-year-old is going through. Like he was so anxious about school and everything. Like he doesn't go. He got like the GED. He's like me. I don't really.
I did that,
but it runs in the family. My mom too. So I'm not putting him out there, but I do get a little worried about his introversion. Mine came after addiction, and once I, like you said, kicked the door open, I guess. Yeah. I call it coming out of the coffin. Like I just, see,
mine's the broom closet because I'm also a practitioner.
So I am too.
I am a candle burning, hair pulling, tree hugging, dirt worshiping, crystal caressing pagan. And that's just me, you know. But
I'm a Christian witch,
Thanks,
but I practice it.
Yeah, I was born, baptized, and raised Catholic.
Oh yeah, me too. But that whole turn or burn didn't work for me because I just turned. But I'm a Christian witch, and people are like, "How do you do that?" And I'm like, "Listen, it's me. It's what I do. I know where the line is. I don't cross it. I cast spells, and
because being a witch isn't a religion.
Exactly.
It's that simple.
Exactly.
And people okay. So can I use this platform to make one little suggestion to the whole pagan witchy community out there? For the love of whatever deity you fucking pray to, please do not call yourself a warlock and think it's cool.
Oh my God. Are we playing Dungeons and Dragons?
It is.
It's
a derogatory term. It's a derogatory term. It means that you're an oath breaker and can't be trusted. A witch is a witch is a witch, whether you have a hoo-ha or a woo-hoo. Be okay with it.
A pee-pee or a winky.
There you go. I don't care if it dangles or if it's all shoved up in there. Which is a witch.
Oh, good Lord. She's going to give Jamie ideas.
I'm just saying that nothing drives me crazier than misused terminology.
Well, that's what happened with the word witch, though, isn't it? That's why when I say I'm a Christian witch, people actually, I've had people unsubscribe. I've had people troll me. And I'm like, listen, I just don't worship other deities. That's all. I worship Jesus. I still go by the phases of the moon. And I'm just starting to get into that. So I couldn't tell you everything there is to know. But I know that, like you said, being a witch isn't a religion. And that's the same thing that happens with the word witch. It's thrown around so much that it's really a bad rap. Like to say it publicly like I do now, but I kept that to myself. It was funny because Ray saw this book that I have. I was just reading it for research. The little book of everyday curses and maledictions. It's on my altar, and he walks by, and I see him look, and he looks. And then today I had said something like, I said, I was praying, and so I didn't answer the phone or something because I pray a lot. And he's like, well, who were you praying to? Like, I think he's scared of me, guys. I was like, Jesus, like, what are you talking about? And he's like, I don't know anymore. He's thinking witch. He's thinking Salem burned witch. He's not.
I had 3 ancestors in the Salem witch trials. So it's not. Yeah, I'm that girl. Okay. But it's not. Yeah, a witch is just somebody that follows a more natural path. That is all it is. And you follow the phases of the moon. So do farmers.
Yeah, exactly. And I always say, like, astrology is the oldest science that exists. And people are like, witch. And I'm like, astrology is a science. Like, it has nothing to do with being a witch. Like, when I do the oracle readings and I channel from source, but then on my channel I'll say, like, Aries, this is what's going to happen to you this month, and people are like, oh, you call yourself a Christian. I get a lot of trolls for that, and I'm like, it's science. It's science of the stars and planets.
Try doing readings for people when they come to you privately because they need help, and then telling you're going to burn in hell because everything you told them was right.
Oh, for God's sakes!
I don't know what to do. You know what?
Why did it get to be a bad thing?
People,
because it wasn't Christian.
People get very and seeing the thing is, if they actually, I'm gonna get on my soapbox. Give me a second.
Yeah, please do.
If they actually read the Bible, I mean, actually the words. I mean, actually sound them out. Read them a little bit, put full sentences together. If they actually read the Bible, they would actually see that people like myself and like Gemma had been counseled to many people in the Bible.
The problem is people read it with their own kind of agenda.
Yes.
That's what I love about my church. They just read it and they're like, there it is. Do you know what I mean? And that's why I love going there. Yeah. And that's the same, like, I think witch got a bad rap because of what happened with the witch trials. I think way before that, but I think, like, publicly for the collective, for people who don't know what they're talking about or who have their own agenda or who just are having a bad day and want to pick on somebody. Actually, it's because when you say witch, they think of practicing satanic rituals in the woods and
witches don't believe in Satan. So.
Right. And when we got this bad rap, I think personally that's where it started for me. because that's all I hear. Like, oh, where's your hat? Where's your are you going to put a curse on me or turn me? Like, I actually was accused in my church publicly of necromancy for reading oracle cards, and I had to stand up publicly.
You know what I say to that?
Necromancy.
The raising of the dead.
The raising of the dead. What I tell people when they say something like that to me, suck it. I don't know what to tell you other than that. I mean,
I just stood up publicly denied it.
But here's the thing: the demonizing of those that didn't follow a Christian path or that did things that were more of a healing or spiritual nature actually was really prominent and kind of started through the Crusades. And
but it couldn't be just the religious part, or it would be all religions.
No. It wasn't the religious aspect of it. It was the financial. Because a lot of people of pagan origin, what were called healers, would be considered witches. Well, pagans, they did things through trade. You need a goat, I need a blanket. Let's switch. Okay, they did things that way. Healing services for food, things of that nature. Well, when the Crusades came through, all of that was about taxation.
Yeah, how do you tax a goat?
You can't tax somebody who doesn't deal in finances. That the term pagan, which is very closely related to what people consider a witch, at least in the origins of it, simply means country dweller. That's the actual definition of the word, country dweller. And it's because it was people that did not deal in money, so they could not be taxed. The tax dollars could not go to the church, so they were demonized. Plain and simple.
And that's true.
Simple. It's that simple.
Wow. I figured it had a lot to do with the fact that they could put you in jail, but they couldn't stop you from bad shit.
That probably has something to do with it too. It's throughout the centuries, though. It more is always added to it to demonize. You know how they used to try sometimes to tell if someone was a witch or not? They would tie like big, I think of it as concrete blocks, even though it was probably something different, but think of that heavy. And they would chain them and tie it to them and throw them in like a lake or a water source. And if they drowned, it's like, oh, we were wrong, but at least they're with Jesus. And if they rose and didn't drown, then they were a witch and they were burned. So that was how they tested it out. Yeah, that was just one of the ways that I think it just, if they drowned, it was like, they didn't even really say sorry. They were like, well, innocent with Jesus now and moving on.
Of course they drowned. You guys all need to look up the Monty Python's version of how they tell if the woman's a witch. They put her on a scale and they put a duck.
I never saw that, but I love Monty Python.
We are actually in pre-production for a documentary or docuseries that we're actually doing in Scotland. And we've had boots on the ground over there for a year and a half, almost 2 years now, doing research in regards to something very, very closely related to what we're discussing here. So just keep your eyes out. I'll let y'all know when we actually finally get over there. But no, it's.
You notice Vanessa's breaking up now that she's speaking truth.
Yeah,
tends to happen a lot on here.
Weird calls and text messages, and then
I have a ghost here in my brand new apartment. No one's ever lived in it. The building is brand new, and that motherfucker unplugs my TV from the TV because he doesn't like me watching Project Runway. So he actually unplugs the plug from the back of the TV. Brand new TV, by the way. Classic. Yeah. You brought up something interesting, and I wanted to touch base on that because witches get a serious bad rap and a whole lot of guff over, oh, you curse people. No. First, okay, I'm going to lay down some truth again, just like the warlock thing. If anyone had any idea of how much energy it takes to actually curse somebody, they would never be in fear of it because it is a daily dose of energy having to go from one person to another, and nobody's got that kind of time on their hands. Curses
not
just
these
like
days.
No, curses just like back in the day when a woman would be burned, and a lot of times they would do it alive, y'all. I have to be honest with you. They would burn her and she would curse the village. That's a self-fulfilling prophecy, because the guilt alone that these people had to have felt for torturing another soul that way, whether they made that proclamation that they felt guilt or not, they still did, would be enough to fuel a self-fulfilling prophecy, and they would in turn curse themselves based on their actions, their words, what they chose to do, and how their guilt relayed through that. That still goes on today. I've been contacted by so many people saying, I think somebody cursed me, huh?
I'm sorry. Is it just me that's breaking up? Like, should I go out and come back in, or is it just happening for everybody?
Everybody else is good, I think.
Yeah, everybody else is good.
Okay.
Yeah, go out and come back in.
All right. Sorry about that, guys.
No, that's okay. But it's the same thing that happens today. And you see it all the time on social media. People are like, I think somebody cursed me. My luck sucks. My life sucks. Blah, blah, blah. Whiny titty baby. Nah, nah, nah. All you hear, all you see.
Yeah, you're probably not cursed. That's just karma kicking your ass.
It's either karma kicking your ass, or you're causing,
or your conscience
that reality. What you see, what you speak, what you think, you put into reality. So if your life is shit and you've done nothing to change it, I don't know how to help you. Yep. Right. You know, maybe try doing something a little different. And when I do readings, I tell people this same thing. I do not sugarcoat. I am not Willy Wonka.
And if you're constantly focused on the shit part of everything,
that's all you're going
to see. That's all there's going to be good things happening all around you, and you're not going to be grateful for it.
Well, see, and that's what I try to tell people. And I don't know how honest y'all want me to be on here, but I'm relatively certain none of y'all would know by talking to me that I had an extremely traumatic childhood. I was the victim of a relatively brutal rape. I was assaulted by a stranger and almost killed. I was homeless for almost 3 months. Divorced, lost 6 babies, you name it. That does not define me. That's not someone cursing me. That's not bad luck. That is, life threw me this curveball. What the hell am I going to do with it?
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to do something pretty damn good with it.
Right. Might as well.
But people can't think along those terms. It has to be something paranormal. Cha-Cha, come here. There's a puppy. You little heifer. Come on. She's my 18-year-old. She's my 18-year-old.
Yeah, you gotta have something to blame.
He won't leave me
besides
alone.
themselves.
Exactly right. And for every bad decision I've made, I accept full responsibility. That was this chica right here. I did it. That was my dumb ass. Let's see if I don't do it again. You know, but that's just how people are, and they can't help themselves, and they have to turn it into something. I actually did a YouTube video on this called a paranormal hypochondria. And it's true, you know, or Munchausen by paranormal. Guys, I'm messing with my Wi-Fi. Just give me a few. Will do. It's the same with the paranormal, whether you're talking about witchcraft or anything else. People have to have something to praise or blame.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that keeps them from having to take on the responsibility for themselves and their choices. And I see it all the time in the paranormal. This happened to me, and it had to be an attachment. No, maybe you just sucked that day. I don't know what to tell you.
What's up, Josh? Yeah, I wonder if a lot of that comes from fear too, like if fear of the unknown.
I think so. I think that fear is contagious. And I think that people
media
almost, yes, but I think they almost need to feel fear. And instead of feeling joy, they choose to feel fear. And I think that's one of the things that makes for a difficult life. Everything can't be that. It just life doesn't work that way. I wish she would get back on here, because when she had brought up curses, I was going to give her one. Mm-hmm. That is, it's not a curse; it's a warning. So you don't have to curse, but it's a really good one.
my family, because I'm Indian. Like one granny is full-blooded Indian, Choctaw Indian, and then The other one's full-blooded Italian. So I'm Indian and Italian. And
Damn.
my Italian side, my grandma could barely speak English, and she would give you the maluch. If she put a maluch on you, that's
Evil
an
eye.
Italian curse. And the evil eye, the maluch, yeah. And they would check to see if they were overlooked by putting a little tray with water in it, and then drops of olive oil. And what the olive oil does tells them
if it stays
like
in
witchcraft.
Yeah. Huh?
That's like witchcraft. And then if you're overlooked, that means somebody put a maluch on you.
It's I think
it will turn around and go back to them twice as bad if you find out about it when you.
Which is no different than wrapping somebody's picture in aluminum foil and putting them in a baggie and sticking them in your freezer. I will never forget. My son was back in Oklahoma, and so the people at the apartments were having to come by and fix our fridge, and my child.
Wait, what did you say? Like getting what and wrapping it and putting
a picture and putting it in foil and putting it in your freezer.
Yeah. My son actually called me at work and said, Mom, what do you want me to do with all the people in the freezer? They're here to fix it. Shit. And I'm like, well, just, put them on ice and Mom will, put them back in when I get home. Well, and it works. It's not hurting anybody.
What does it do?
It keeps them from hurting you. It basically wraps their intention that's towards you in something that's like a mirror. So it's reflective and so it goes back on them. It's very simple. It doesn't take nothing. I mean, bing, bang.
People in my life would be worth building a mirror box for.
The kicker of something like that is you have to truly believe it's going to work. I put somebody in my freezer. I don't give them a second thought. So
I love that.
I mean, I think I had somebody in there for 6 years.
I'm scared. I'm gonna go to Vanessa's house. You're gonna have a bunch of heads in there.
Oh my God!
That bitch ain't hurt me no more.
That's so weird that you just said that, Sonny. That's what Josh said in the chat. I thought she said wrap a head up and put it in the freezer.
No,
she's a bad bitch. All right, she'll cut your damn head off.
She told us. She warned us.
Nobody else paid attention to this.
I didn't have the space for the 4 heads. Okay.
The deep freezer's coming next month. All right.
I do have space here. That's not a bad idea. But no, it's
giving her ideas, guys.
I know it's really simple, but that's all like witchcraft really is. Like I was remote viewing for a team in Sheffield, England, and they had contacted me and said, hey, we're gonna start doing this. I didn't know where they were, and they said, hey, we're gonna start doing this, and be ready so we can send you questions and you can send them back or do EVPs or whatever through WhatsApp, because obviously I'm in Oklahoma. Well, I wait and I wait and I wait, and I can just feel the anxiety, and I knew it was them, and I called him and I'm like, what's going on? And he was like, it's fucking bullshit. I mean, we get here and these motherfuckers won't leave. It's 6 people and they weren't supposed to be there. And I'm like, okay, all right. How many women, how many men? And he told me it was 3 and 3. So like 3 couples. I said, give me a minute. I'll call you right back. And so I took 6 pieces of paper, small pieces of paper, and I drew stick figures. The girls had on dresses. The guys didn't have on anything because they were a stick person, but that way I could differentiate. And I laid them all out in a row and I wrote straight across, and I have no idea what I wrote, but I wrote straight across all 6 pieces of paper, then wadded them up and put it in an ashtray and set it on fire. And I called him up and I said, okay, I did what I could do without being mean. Give it a couple of minutes. And I hung up. Well, about 2 minutes later, one of the other team members called me back and they said, what did you do? I said, what I could do without being mean. It's all fucking right. Just shut up and just go. Okay. And 2 minutes later, another team member called me and they said, seriously, Vanessa, what did you do? And I told them what I just told you. I said, what happened? And he goes, no sooner did you call back and say you did what you did and it should be okay, did all 6 of the people's heads pop up. They looked at each other and they said, we have to go now. And they walked single file all the way down to their cars and left.
Oh my God.
I was in Oklahoma. That was in Sheffield, England.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa.
And there was about 8 witnesses to that.
Mr. Crowley, she terrifies me.
That is actually not the first time I've heard that, but I'm real sweet.
Somebody else said something similar to that up here. Oh man.
Andrew?
Josh, I think. Oh, Josh right here. She is dangerous.
A little bit.
She'll put your ass in the freezer.
Okay? Yeah, I'll put your
That's a new thing for me. I never knew that was a thing that people did. That's new to me.
Well, I mean, it doesn't cause any harm. And it just basically, if you feel like somebody is sending negative energy towards you, you don't have to be a dick. You just take their picture or take a piece of paper and be very specific so you don't get the wrong person and write their full name on it that you know, or maybe even their birth date if you know that. And you just fold that up and fold it up into a piece of aluminum foil, stick it in a Ziploc baggie and pop it in your freezer. They're not hurt. They just can't send anything to you. So it's a thing, but it's not bad.
Buy a printer. I got a lot of pictures I need to print.
Oh shit.
No.
Maybe that's why I'm so damn cold all the time. Everybody's got my damn picture in their freezer.
Yeah, somebody shows up with 17 jackets on every morning.
No,
Sonny, how many freezers are you in now? Jeez.
I don't think that's it. All right, ask me anything because we could stay on the witchcraft thing all night. Really throw a weird one at me.
I'm a UFO fanatic, so let's see here. Let me think of a UFO question.
Do you think aliens use witchcraft?
That's
okay.
a good question.
That's a great question. It's the thing is when we use the term witchcraft, it's really just energy. So if we are going to term it that way, abso-fucking-lutely. Because actually, I think we all have these capabilities. I ain't special. Ain't a damn thing special about me. Every single person out there has the ability to hear or see a spirit or manifest a particular reality or use their visualization. Oh, Bigfoot ones. I got some stuff on there. Or use their visualization techniques in order to create whatever reality it is that they want. There is absolutely, excuse me, no way in the world I could have accomplished what I've accomplished in the last 7 years without using that skill set. There's no way. Because by the time I actually started writing my books and traveling and everything else, I had left such an abusive relationship, not my child's father, but one after that. Such an abusive relationship that I was nothing. So if I didn't use the skills that were innate to me as a human, no way I could have accomplished what I had. Bigfoot, I missed your name, sweetheart. I'm so
Bigfoot Anon.
Yeah. He
Connor.
was asking anything Bigfoot. I actually, I was in.
Yes, right now.
When was it? It was November. It was November 2020. I was in the Uwharrie Mountains, Uwharrie Forest in North Carolina. That's a really interesting place to go. And I did not see one there. But I can tell you, based on the other activity that was happening while we were there and how and the other stories that the people that I was there with had actually experienced, if I was going to try to see something like that and not by myself, I can't stress that enough, that is the area I would go to. And there is a clearing. It's not a bad hike, because I'm a short little squatty thing, but it's not a bad hike. It's about 3 or 4 miles up, not too terribly tall, but there's a clearing up there in the Uwharrie Forest. And it is so chocked full of all kinds of energy, and the history of Bigfoot energy there and interaction is pretty spectacular. So that would be where I would go if I wanted to see something like that. I was only there for an afternoon. I only got to go up there for an afternoon. I didn't get to spend a lot of time there. But it would not surprise me one iota if you spent a couple of days up there that you would not have specific interaction with one.
He said he just posted, how do you pronounce that?
Uwari.
Footage today on TikTok.
It's beautiful. And oh my word, just I think one of the things that causes the energy to be so much of what it is the quartz crystals that are on that land are unlike anything you've ever seen before. There is one that it's bigger. Just the part you can see outside of the ground is bigger than my dining room table, sticking straight up. And it's about 5 times bigger than that underneath the ground. So you're talking about probably a 4 or 5 ton crystal. And they're all over the place. And those are generators of energy. They're magnifiers of energy. So I think that might lend itself. But I am also somebody who thinks that Bigfoot might lend itself as being not quite what we think it is and more of an extraterrestrial kind of being. You know what I mean?
More than an extraterrestrial being?
Yeah.
Okay.
So simply because the way that they can camouflage themselves and the way that they can be in and out of a place when they've been spotted, it lends itself to make me believe that. And I'm not saying I'm right. I could be dead wrong. But they are the hide and seek champions of the universe.
That's for sure.
Reason.
Yeah.
For a reason. So,
I think they can generate some like electronic interference too, because it's like every camera that takes a picture of them has some type of blurriness or something going on with it.
We in the Uwari forest up there on that meadow that I was talking about, a person that I was with, he went to the area where I told him where the majority of the energy was, and we snapped a picture, and I had explained to him about the cylindrical energy that started large and it got smaller and smaller and smaller to a point. And I mean, I could see it turning. He sticks his hand out where I'm saying, we take a picture of it, and his arm is twisted in the photo.
His arm is twisted?
Wait, Chad, I don't know if Gemma's coming back. She was going to have to leave in 1 minute anyway. So
oh, man.
Might not make it back, guys.
Gemma Jade.
Well, she did have to leave. I think it's 8 o'clock her time.
Yeah, and I can't stay for much longer either. I have to do a reading.
No, you're not going nowhere. Your ass ain't getting off so easy.
You're too much fun.
I know she's got a lot more.
I'm just looking to see here. Okay, so let me. Okay, I can stay a little bit longer.
Go. It's okay.
I can stay a little bit longer, but no. In the photo, it looked like, you remember The Incredibles, the movie The Incredibles, and the mom, how she was like that rubber woman, and her arms could do all these crazy things. That's what his arm looked like.
I haven't seen that movie.
Huh?
Here we go. Here we go. You hear this?
It's a cartoon.
Talking about movies again. You hear that? Jeez.
It's a good movie.
It's a running joke with me. I haven't seen damn near any movie, and every time somebody brings a movie up and references something in a movie, I'm just like, I guess I'll just go over here now.
You're just not a movie person?
No, I think I spent a lot of time out in the woods and stuff before I got on YouTube and started doing this kind of stuff. So,
well, there ain't nothing
I wasn't really in the house a whole lot.
There's nothing wrong with that. And in all honesty, I mean, they just keep remaking shit anyway. So
yeah, I just gotta wait for everything to be remade, and then I can see it all in 4K anyway.
There you go, right there. Although some of them is just never as good as the original. I just gotta say.
That reminds me, I watched The Great Outdoors.
Oh,
with John Candy.
Yes,
and I watched it on. Yeah, I love that movie. It's one of my favorites. And growing up, I always watched it on hey, what's up, Connor? I always watched it on like a super low definition, small square TV. And then when you watch it on like a 60-inch HD screen, the movie is totally different.
It's weird.
Yeah, it's super crisp and everything's clean, and you're like, well, that's not how I remember it.
See, and that's the thing is, as a birthday gift for next month, my family sent me a 55-inch HD, yada, 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 because they apparently didn't care for the 40-inch that I bought myself, you know, because my living room is huge. And so they thought it was a postage stamp, so they were being sweet. But I feel like I'm violating people. It's like I'm watching somebody's life, you know, and they're my size. They're my size.
Yeah, on a screen that
it weirds me out.
Yeah, it's strange, isn't it?
I'm grateful for it, and it was very sweet. But I'm like, it's like I'm looking through a window, and I just don't know how I feel about that. No.
Yeah.
Magic
says. Wasn't meant to be viewed in such high definition. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that was filmed back in the day, and they're like, "Do we need makeup?" Nah, it's not. You're not gonna be able to see it anyway. Like, now we have HD, and we're like, "Oh my god, you should have wore makeup."
Don't put this mug on HD, okay? That's all I'm saying. Don't do it, okay? Just
where'd Spooky go?
Love yourself enough. But. So hi Bigfoot and On. Did you get
what's up, Vanessa? I love your energy and I love your preaching, you know. Keep at it. Keep the blade at their neck. I'm all for mowing down skeptics, but also very skeptical myself. You know, we can't be gullible and eat up everything, you know. We all don't believe the Challenger actually exploded, you know, and they all have identical brothers and sisters, right, Chad Smith?
That's right.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. Two things. First, one really interesting based on something that you said right there. Years and years and years ago, ex-husband was in the Air Force. And so I had driven down to San Antonio from Oklahoma, and he was an AIT. So I'm going to spend the weekend and come back home. We go to this big old Mexican restaurant down there. And we're sitting there eating, and he's got to go to the bathroom. So he gets up, he goes to the bathroom, he comes back, and he sits down at the table 3 tables down from us with a woman that looks identical to me, wearing the same outfit, same hairstyle, same lipstick color, everything. And I am sitting there, and I'm like, ain't that about a bitch? She looks just like me. Just like me.
That's crazy.
Twin, but not mine. Because I'm natural blonde. This is fake. So I mean, it looked like me. Okay. Weird shit. The other thing on like the skeptics and stuff, this is where I say I'm a skeptic. I did a show for Paranormal Zone TV with Noreen Sampier Balovich. And I do a lot of missing persons cases and stuff, but this was, people were sending in their photos and wanted to know my take on it. Yeah. Okay, you know, and I was given my opinions of them, and one popped up, and I didn't get nothing. And I said that I'm very honest. If you don't want my opinion, don't fucking ask for it. Okay, and I said that, and the person got so mad, and I'm like, dude, why do you fucking care what I'm saying? Were you there? Right. And he's like, yeah. And I said, did you see it? And he says, yeah. And I said, did you have an experience? And he says, yeah. And I said, then what the fuck do you care about me?
Right. Mind your own damn business.
You know, I mean, somebody asked me a question. I answered the question. You didn't like the answer, but you don't have to. And I don't fucking care. And you don't have to fucking care about my opinion. That's right. Okay. And I think that we forget this in this community. We think everybody's got to agree and get along. I'm going to tell you right now, some orbs are ghost. Sorry. And then some, not so much.
Right.
Okay. I love her.
I've been in Greyfriars Kirkyard in Edinburgh, Scotland, and taken pictures, beautiful pictures. And there's orbs all over the pictures. Greyfriars Kirkyard is very haunted. But I am here to tell you every last fucking one of those was missed.
It was
plain
missed?
And simple.
Yeah.
Yes. Because it was raining. And I've had people argue with me about my own picture. And I'm like, bitch, I was there. It's missed.
I was there. It was raining. I witnessed it.
Yeah, it's not paranormal. But then we were in Balladrine. We were staying at Spellman's Motel. Haunted as fuck.
Yeah.
And we just had cameras setting up in the bedroom. We were out doing our little walk through the town. And it's the strangest thing. These glowing balls just flying through the air in our hotel room.
In the hotel room.
Windows closed. There is no air conditioning because they don't have air conditioning. It doesn't exist in the building. And it's in July. So definitely no heater.
Yeah.
And
Definitely not mist.
they're about this big. And they were glowing from the inside out.
Wow.
What color?
Kind of the you know what it looks like if you get like that iridescent tissue paper? Like it goes purple one way, pink one way, green like that.
Okay. Yeah.
Like that, only pixelated. Which is not the first time I've seen something like that.
Yeah, see, I've heard the pixelation thing before too.
Mm-hmm. Well, I caught one picture years ago at a place called what the fuck was that place called? That was in Shawnee, Oklahoma. It's a
You know you're getting invites all the time now, Vanessa.
Y'all just caught me on a good day.
I don't know.
It's a theater. For the life of me, I can't remember what it was, what the name of it was. But it's in Shawnee, Oklahoma, and that's twice back on the map, so not hard to find. But I was upstairs in the hallway, and I took a picture in a room that was people in the chat are fucking laughing at me. I know it.
No, not at you at all. I swear.
Okay, well, it's okay. I don't care.
They're just trying to get spooky laughing.
Oh, and it's working.
It's working.
But I took a picture in a dark room, no flash, no nothing, and caught, I think it was 3 about between softball and volleyball size multicolored iridescent orbs with people in them, like little bitty people.
Inside the orb?
Inside the orbs. It's on my MySpace if I could get back in that fucker.
Oh, MySpace.
Yes, and they had tails on them. The orbs had tails on them, like they were drifting down and leaving a streak behind them. And then at the very bottom of the floor, strangest thing ever, I got to call it like I see it. I called it the Rat Fire King because it looked like a rat on fire, but the fire was in the shape of a crown. So we had these 3 orbs coming down with tails on them, with people inside them, and then a rat with a fire crown.
Whoa. Yeah, so how do you make that up?
Thousands of people have seen this photo. And it wasn't taken from a cell phone. This was a photo. There's no way to fuck with it. Because this was, this was, it's what, 2022 now? It's like 2008 when I took this. You know, it's just bizarre.
Yeah, not a time of high quality photoshopping.
Oh, hell no. I called a full body apparition at the Crescent Inn Hotel in Eureka Springs, standing directly next to me on the 3rd floor. I was taking a picture out of the 3rd floor window. For those who don't know about the Crescent Inn, it used to be a cancer research hospital. Not so much. And where the bridal suite is now is where they used to, it was the only rooms in the whole hotel that had doors, because as the people were dying, this doctor, and I use that term loosely, would put them in there because their screams couldn't be heard from the solutions that he was. Yeah, I do, honey. The solution he was injecting into them was killing them. He thought he was trying to save them. He was killing them. I think it was bleach water. And he was injecting these into their tumors and stuff. But I was standing in the hallway with the bridal suite door to my right, wall directly behind me, hallway to my left. Nobody was with me. Took a picture, and this person is standing like this, leaning back against the wall, staring directly at me, full body.
Whoa.
I cast a shadow. She did not. It's strange shit.
Yeah, it gets strange.
Shit. Yeah.
I love hearing the different experiences though.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's cool to a certain degree. Sometimes it's not. Like we were talking about channeling earlier.
Mhm.
I do it. Don't do it how I do it. Don't do as I do. Do as I say, not as I do. I don't recommend it. It's dangerous. It's stupid.
Channeling, you said?
Yes, it's stupid. And I'm still going to do it. So it's dumb. And it's not something that anybody should do because it is dangerous.
What exactly is like, what are you doing when you're channeling?
Up until about 2 years ago, I had no control over it. So I wouldn't remember anything. So like in my books where I've talked about it, there's been eyewitness accounts for every single time because I have no memory of them. So my only memories of these are what people have actually told me that's happened. And when I've woken up 2 miles away from where I was before, I know they're not lying. You know,
right.
My first experience that I can remember was pretty much Marie Laveau took me to her tomb from 18 blocks away.
Down in New Orleans.
Yep. I was at Mother's restaurant and she hopped in and she carried me all the way to her tomb at St. Louis Cemetery. And apparently when I'm in that state, if I take off, you can't catch me. So there was 3 women chasing after me, trying to catch me, and they couldn't catch me. And like I said, short and squatty. I'm not that fast. Okay.
Vanessa, do you have any other favorite spots around New Orleans that are, super haunted?
I tried to break into good gravy. Jacques Saint Germain's house. That was another one. Yeah. He had me trying to break into it, and I woke up laying on the ground in front of the front doors.
Wow.
So
have you been out to the Honey Island Swamp outside of New Orleans?
No, because you see in swamps, they have snakes and gators.
Yes. And Rougarou. That's what's famous over there in the Honey Island Swamp. It's famous for a werewolf type monster. And I'm a big advocate for it because when people go to New Orleans, I always say, make sure you do the boat tour in the Honey Island Swamp. But be careful crossing the Pontchartrain Bridge.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Well, see, and for me, New Orleans is kind of like my Mecca. And I absolutely love it down there. But New Orleans, aside from what people believe it is, actually has an underground of things that defy explanation. One of my favorite authors used to be a tour guide down there. And she quit doing tours and started writing. And yes, I'm a woman. So, of course, there were romance books. Just be okay with it. And they were awesome, And, a whole lot of hanky-panky and really good-looking guys. So it was great. But she talked about one particular club in these books that had like 5 separate clubs in it. And she was always asked at her book signings, will you tell us where this is? And she would never reveal it. Well, I'm a research queen. I found that bitch. And so I think it was my 37th birthday. So this was a cool minute ago. I think it was my 37th birthday. We went there. And I found it and I wanted to go in. Come to find out, she loves it. Same girl, same. I walked in and I found out it's the only club in New Orleans where you can't take a drink in, you can't take a drink out, you can't take pictures, you can't do nothing like that. Fine. Don't have to worry about it. It's okay. I want to go to the bathroom and I go, and there's 5 clubs in this. I go to the bathroom. The women's bathroom is hidden behind bookshelves and it's guarded by one man. And it's like a hidden wall there. And he was maybe all of 4'9", and his hair hung down to his knees and you couldn't see his face. I'm a tough cookie. This motherfucker scared the shit out of me. I don't know what it was about him, but I've seen shit in New Orleans that defies everything you believe in.
Whoa.
Have you been to the dungeon? Of course.
Yes.
Yeah, I've had a few drinks there.
Yes.
Oh,
I actually have a friend who runs one of the vampire tours down there, Jonathan Weiss. And the great thing about his tour, and I highly recommend anyone going there to take it, is it's not theater. Nobody is better versed on the history of New Orleans. And all the facts he gives you can be backed up with police evidence and court records. Now there's one place, I'll go anywhere. I'm not scared of nothing, except for one place. And that's the LaLaurie Mansion. And I have a hard time walking on the same side of the street. I can't take it.
What's it called again?
The LaLaurie Mansion, Delphine LaLaurie and her husband. See, the thing about places in New Orleans, when you're walking down the street and you look up and you see a building and because almost all of their windows have like that oval shape at the top. When you see one of them boarded up or bricked up, 9 times out of 10, somebody flew out that window. Delphine LaLaurie had that happen in her mansion. She threw a 12-year-old girl out the window.
Oh.
They got away with so much because they were wealthy until finally, and this is all backed up by court and police records, until finally they got caught because a fire started in the attic. And the fire brigade came, and when they came in and they went up the stairs to the attic and they opened the door, it's even in the court records, every fireman turned and vomited down the stairs. They had shoved a woman into a crate, breaking all of her limbs, so she walked out like a crab. They had peeled another person like a potato.
Oh.
Yes. And the reason that I've always had a hard time going past that until recently is, if I'm being fair, I knew I had a connection to that place, but I didn't know if I was the victim or the aggressor.
Damn.
If I'm being fair, I didn't know.
Yeah.
And I now know I don't think I was the aggressor, which means that I had to have been one of the victims.
That's unbelievable that somebody living on the same planet and breathing the same air that we are.
It was horrific
do that.
what they did.
That's unreal.
It's awful, but and they never got punished for any of it. They split.
What?
Yeah. If you go back and you watch American Horror Story Coven, that's actually not, aside from the fantastical parts of it, of Delphine LaLaurie and Marie. And Marie, yes, Marie Laveau being there in present day. The historical stuff of it is not far off.
Man,
at all.
That is creepy.
I actually would highly recommend people watching it.
For sure.
Because that shit really went down. The historical stuff, not the present day, the historical stuff.
Yeah.
They really did good research on it. And like I said, all of that stuff it can actually be verified. And that's what I like. I like going to a place and feeling what I feel and seeing what I see and dealing with it that way, and then finding out if what I'm seeing and feeling can actually be verified.
For sure. That's crazy because that's like the big story that I always heard going to New Orleans and, we were always scared about. And what if you were a victim? And that just shows the synchronicity, everything just coming about. And about the Uwharrie forest footage, I posted that today. Researcher put a Snickers bar out there and got thermal footage of a Sasquatch picking it up. And I'm not too familiar with the Uwharrie, forest. It's a funny name. And then you come on and say that. It's just like, cool.
Yeah, it really is beautiful.
Your link to Salem, have you got that like documented through paper, or have you connected to or both?
Through family history, and that is on my actual dad's side, on my biological dad's side, and then with the Scotland connections and the Ireland connections and the Germany connections and the England connections. That's all through both my family sides.
Got you. But do you channel that too? Did you know you were related to the Salem witches before you were told by your family, or was that always a thing of your childhood that
No,
was it a thing of talk about, or did you feel it?
They didn't talk about it. I didn't know it. I didn't know of the blood relation until I started doing the research. But I also didn't know that me and my business partner are related. We met on Twitter. And
it's great. Gemma has a really crazy, deep thoughts about soul contracts, and that me and her go back many lives, and we joke that we met on YouTube. And again, I think there are so many souls out there, and this earth, this realm is full of it. So we're not stuck on one. I think there's many connections, and some of us are symbiotic, and then some of us are lessons. And that if that energy is not right, it's a lesson learned just to get away from it, or you're going to suffer.
I'm tired of the lessons. Okay. I'm done. I'm tired of it. I've learned my lesson. Single gal for life. Don't fuck with me. Okay.
I will not.
I'm the oldest I've ever been.
Thank you, Ange.
I finally had a kid, and I'm living life on my terms. I'm done with the lessons. But you're right. I have soul connections with my business partner, soul connections with we have a silent partner as well. And all of us actually met through social media, which is crazy. And then one of my dearest friends over in England, I swear he's my brother. I swear he's my brother. And he feels the same way. The second we met in person, it was like, oh, there you are. It was a crazy thing. I flew to England and spent 10 days with people I'd only ever talked to online. How fucking nuts am I? But they were awesome. And we had the best time. I highly recommend doing that, actually. If you've never done it, do it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. We've all been talking about doing that because we all met on YouTube.
If y'all want to take an overseas trip, I'm actually the ambassador for Secret Ireland Tours, and we are going to be in Ireland October 26th to November 4th of this year.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Do you have any cool stories about County Mayo? That's where my family's from.
I didn't spend a lot of time in Mayo the last 2 times, but I will be this next time. I was mostly in Roscommon County this last time, and in some of the surrounding areas. And then the previous time I was in Dublin, Kilkenny, Killarney, Cork, Ring of Kerry. I didn't get down to the southeast side. My family settled Castle Pollard, Ireland, and I still haven't fucking been there. What am I about? Isn't that crazy?
Have you spent a lot of time in Limerick?
No. I did spend a decent amount of time in Northern Ireland. Giant's Causeway is fucking amazing. It is.
I'm big on the Titans and mud flood, so yeah, the Giant's Causeway is super rad.
You can stand on Giant's Causeway and see Scotland.
That's magical. Is it by the Loch Ness as well?
No,
or is that a different part of the country?
Loch Ness is Scotland. Loch Ness is in the Highlands of Scotland. So like when I was in Scotland the last time, I was in mostly the Edinburgh area and some Glasgow. This next time when I go, I'll be mostly in South Ayrshire, which is like Troon, which is kind of funny. If you look at the map of Scotland, the west side of Scotland looks like it has a dick and balls on it. It does. I mean, it sticks out, and then it's a little area. And Troon is directly underneath there. If we can stay longer, we're going to go up into the Highlands.
Very cool.
It just depends. So that's basically 10 days of nonstop filming. But that's what we did in Ireland. We walked 200 miles in 8 days.
That's the way to do it. My dad and my stepmom were just out there, and I was so jealous of all the pictures. But they went back to my grandma's old home, and just really cool to feel that energy. And then my aunt saw a banshee in Limerick. She saw a gray-haired lady brushing her hair outside a neighbor's home. The next morning, Mrs. Lynch dies. And, of course, no one believes my aunt. And, of course, she was scorned and dragged through the mud for decades. So it's inside of me, long before that, of course. But it's inside of me to pursue the truth and to fight to the right, to believe what you see and to be able to share that. And we can't be boxed in like the modern world wants.
But here's the thing, and it's like I said before, I didn't get into this, and I don't continue to do this to prove anything to anyone. I'm going to say this so everyone can hear it out there in YouTube land and know that it truly comes from my heart. I don't give a flying fuck if you believe any words that come out of my mouth.
She is perfect for us.
I'm telling you, I love it.
This is the perfect cast
don't
guest.
care if people believe me. I am not here to prove witchcraft exists. I'm not here to prove ghosts exist. I'm not here to prove anything exists. These are my experiences. I don't give two shits if you believe them or not.
Rock
Right
on.
on.
For those that are interested, if you go to perfecttrustproductions.com on YouTube, go down to the episode that we filmed in Roscommon County called Lessons Learned. And they're amazing interviews with people there. Just amazing.
What was the website again?
It's our YouTube is perfecttrustproductions.com.
Perfect Trust Productions.
Mm-hmm. And we have a series. The series that we filmed in Ireland was called Hidden Gems Ireland. 2 episodes are on Amazon Prime, and then the Rona hit, and Amazon was fucking up all kinds of ways. And we knew people really wanted to see it, so we just put it on YouTube and just ate the cost, instead of monetizing it. But we have that, and then we've started another series called Your and Laura. But there is an episode called Lessons Learned. And one of the days when we actually had a driver, he took us, we were all over the famine graveyards, ones that people know about and ones even people in Ireland don't know about. And we got the surprise of our life. We were walking around, and I had been reading the area for him and telling him about different things that happened in history there. And he was confirming on the spot for me, which I love. And because I didn't know he was taking us there. I didn't know what the fuck it was. But I'm explaining to him which way people were fleeing and what they were wearing and this, that, and the other. And then he looks back and he goes, have y'all ever heard of the Banshee? And I'm like, motherfucker. And I said, get in front of me, because she had the camera. Because normally she's got the camera on me because I'm the weird one. Mm-hmm. And the stories that he told was gold. Absolute gold. He had 3 instances with a Banshee that spanned over 40 years.
Wow.
And I'm just like, how do people not know this?
Yeah.
And that's what we're oh shit, son of a bitch. Okay, and you need to go and look at the one titled Moore Hall. I mean, this is the paranormal community for you. Best piece of evidence you will ever see in regards to paranormal activity. Cannot ever be explained as anything that could be debunked ever. No one gave a shit. We were at Moore Hall, July. About 11:30, 12 o'clock at night. The sun had just went down because that's how it is in July. It stays light very, very late. And Moore Hall is a very foreboding place. It engulfs you in darkness. And we were standing there. Keep in mind, it's solid stone. It's 4 stories tall. And me and Gwen, we're short little fuckers. And the guard that we had with us, like a bodyguard for that night, because we were out by ourselves, 6'4", a good 260, huge dude. Okay. He had to climb on a makeshift ladder just to put his elbows on the windowsill of the first floor. And he's put his cell phone down. He turned it off, put his cell phone face down on the 12-inch deep window, solid stone windowsill. Put it face down, and he's all the way over here and trying to take pictures inside the house because you can't get in because everything's blocked off. You watch, and Gwen had her camera on him because she was afraid he was going to fall. Mm-hmm. You watch that camera, that iPhone, you watch it turn on, you watch the flashlight come on, and then it goes flying off the windowsill.
Really?
Completely unedited, uncut video footage.
Wow.
But we didn't rig out.
I'm going to drop that in the chat.
Yeah. My little chunky ass waddled over there and picked it up. And I'm like, here you go, dude. We didn't like, oh, it's a demon and it wants us to leave. No.
Right.
No, sorry.
Don't give it the satisfaction.
But that brings up an excellent point. Can somebody please explain to me if you believe in the paranormal and if you investigate the paranormal and if you expect something to happen, why the fuck do you run screaming like a little bitch when it does? Anybody? Bueller, anyone? If anybody could explain that to me, I would love an answer.
That's a good point.
To me, that's people who don't believe, and they're doing it just to get Facebook famous.
Yep. For clout.
Yeah, I said what I said. Sorry.
It's out there now. You can't bring it back.
Oh, and I would not even.
No, I know you wouldn't. I know you wouldn't.
It's like I said, I don't give a shit.
I've thought about that too, though. Like if you're really into it and you're legit, like, I mean, you're out there for the right reasons, then why are you reacting totally differently when you have to break character, basically?
Well, and let's just break it down, y'all. They're just dead people.
Yeah.
One of these days, it's going to be me. One of these days, it's going to be every one of you.
No.
I don't want somebody
forever.
Right. I don't want somebody speaking to me.
Right.
The way I see people speaking to spirits. Because if you think I'm a bitch now, you wait till I'm dead.
Oh boy. So, yeah, that's why I'm trying to stay on your good side.
It's somebody's grandmother or child or father or something. The chances of it being something demonic are slim to none. I'm not saying it couldn't happen. It can. But the chances are slim to none. Now, could it be an asshole? A dead asshole? Yes, it could. Can they be jerks? Yes, they can. Believe me, I know. But 9 times out of 10, you're dealing with something that either A, just doesn't know how to manifest enough energy to get its point across, or B, maybe you're just not looking at it with the right eyes. Maybe take some responsibility for that.
Man, preaching the truth.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes. Well, it hurts my heart. I mean, a lot of the readings that I do for people, like long distance, and I've told this story before, but it's a short one. I was doing a reading for a woman in Dallas, and all I knew was that she wanted to contact her son. All I knew. Didn't know anything about her, didn't know anything about her son. And so I'm telling her all these things, and they're all making sense to her. The NASCAR, the black and white checkered flag, his favorite music, everything else, down to the band. And even the fact that he was involved in a horrible love triangle made sense to her. But what really hurt was he had to show me and make me feel how he died so that she would understand what had actually happened. And his girlfriend and his ex-best friend, who was part of the love triangle, had beaten him to death with a baseball bat and then set him on fire. And then, so
as if the bat wasn't bad enough.
As if the bat wasn't bad enough, So when you have to feel a portion of that, which I'm willing to do because somebody's got to get the message across.
Yeah,
that makes you view this an entirely different way.
Absolutely.
Anybody else might have looked at that and been like, they're trying to hurt me. No, they're trying to validate and verify who they are.
Right.
So, pony up or sit down and shut the fuck up.
Yes.
I mean, that's just, I guess that's why I look at it that way. I've had so many cases where it's actually been a mentally challenged person who was deceased, who couldn't get their message across in a way that was less frightening. And they weren't trying to hurt anybody. It's just, they didn't know any better.
They stay mentally challenged on the other side?
Absolutely. The ones I've run across, the ones it's not, now, even though I credit the show Ghost Whisperer for giving me the courage to pop out of the broom closet, I am also very aware that it's not all sunshine and roses like they say. I mean, regardless of faith, I can tell you right now, every single spirit I've ever spoke with says it's a two-way street. They can come and go as they please. So, and not a one has ever spoken of heaven or hell.
I think we heard that yesterday too, Chad, on the morning show.
Yeah. A lot of this stuff is similar.
Yeah. And that's not to say anything negative about anybody's religion. Believe what you want to believe. I can only go by what they tell me. And since they're dead, they're kind of in the know. So
right.
I'm going to believe them.
Oh yeah, they're the ones over there.
They're the ones over there, you know.
Earlier, you had mentioned something, not having a shadow. And I had a near-death experience back in 2013. I crashed a motorcycle, was in a coma, and the people that I seen on the other side, seemed to be what stuck in my head the most, was the fact that the light seemed to come from the people and the cabinets and everything that was the walls, everything. The light came from all the stuff. There was like no light fixture anywhere. And there were no shadows. Like everything was illuminated. Not necessarily bright. It just looked normal brightness, like a light was on it, but there was no light.
Exactly. Well, and you know, that leads us into a whole other topic of like shadow people. That's one of the things that people get really up in arms about. And I personally, personal beliefs, I'm sorry, I've dealt with a lot of them that are not nasty. They're not evil. There's nothing wrong with them. That is just to the level they can manifest. And this whole thing about if it's black, it must be negative, or if it's white, it must be positive. That's a bunch of bullshit.
So if you saw, because we have a friend, Josh. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, bud.
When I was a kid, I had a ghost. Go ahead, Chad. I gotta mute this real quick.
Oh, all right. I was just gonna say, Josh has had a recent. Well, it's been about a couple months now, but he was in his apartment and he saw a what does he call it? I guess just a shadow man, I guess, or a dark figure, just a dark shadow. And ever since then, he's been asking everybody, you know, because he's trying to get validation that it wasn't an evil entity that was there visiting him. He was trying to get validation that it was something positive.
This is what and it doesn't have to be either. It could have been a passer. It could have been one passing through. You know, it doesn't have to be either. It doesn't have to be good or bad. Sometimes it can really be indifferent. Right. Because that's if you break it down to the fact that less than 8% of humanity that has ever lived on this earth is alive today, that gives you 92% of humanity out there.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there is just, it's like certain places you can't walk down the street and throw a stone and not hit a dead person. Okay. I've been to places like that. And Virginia is one of those places. Okay. Dead people all over the place around here. And depending on your particular ability or how you choose to see things might dictate whether you see a full body, you know, like corporal being right there, or a shadow person, or their energy might dictate that. But it doesn't mean it's negative. I always ask people, how'd you feel when you saw it? Oh, I was scared. Were you actually scared or were you shocked? Well, I was a little bit surprised.
Mm-hmm.
So surprised isn't scared.
Yeah, you weren't fearing for your life.
Exactly. Did the hair on your neck stand up? Well, yeah, it did a little bit. Like you were afraid or like you got kissed? And it's a weird question, but it's true because it's two totally different feelings, you know? And so sometimes you have to break it down because people have been spoon-fed so much about what they're supposed to feel based on somebody else's experience. And 9 times out of 10, people are like, okay, well, yeah, it really wasn't scary. It just kind of took me by surprise. Taken by surprise is a totally different animal. I can work with that. Now, if you're scared and you feel threatened, I can work with that too. But you got to tell me what we're dealing with here. And come to find out, that's really what it boils down to. If they're not having feelings of being violated, if they're not having true feelings of fear, if they're not being threatened in any way, and there's a very real way to give an example of that. Mm-hmm. I was getting ready to interview Dustin Perry years ago, and I was getting ready for the show, and I was taking my shower, and I was listening to the my little radio on one of those little speaker thingies, you know, and I can't forget what they're called, speaker, and it was on the bathroom cabinet, like 5 feet away, and it flew off. I'm like, okay, I don't understand that. I'm in the shower. The door is shut. Apparently, this one doesn't like my music. So I get out of the shower, put it back up, make sure it's in the corner of the countertop, put something in front of it so that can't happen again. So I'm sitting there and I'm, washing my hair and everything, and I hear something. And then all of a sudden, the razor that I have that's on the shelf behind me on my shower flies at my head and I duck down and it hits the back of the shower.
Oh, no.
On the other direction. I'm like, okay, that's threatening. But somebody walking in my living room is not threatening. And that's where you really have to break it down. And unfortunately, some people get mad when you break it down because they think that you're not validating what they're feeling.
Right.
When in fact, you're just trying to help them figure out how they were actually feeling, because it makes a difference.
That makes, I got chills when you said that. I'm going to let Josh know for sure because I don't see him in the chat right now, but that's a really good distinction to figure out, to break it down as far as like, were you surprised or were you actually in fear of your life or in fear of being hurt? Or were you just shocked at what you were seeing?
I mean, I had one instance in my old apartment back in Oklahoma where, and I mean, I was exhausted, and I mean, I work a lot and I work really, really hard. I'm in dentistry all day long. I write books. I'm an artist. I help run my company, everything else. And so, I mean, I don't get a lot of sleep, and I do tarot readings. So, I mean, I get exhausted. And I was laying in bed and I'm like, just let me go to sleep. And every time I shut my eyes, there was like 40 of them. And they would constantly move where they were standing. So I'd open my eyes, I'd close my eyes again, and they had switched.
Whoa.
Open my eyes, close my eyes again, they had switched. And I just finally had to lay down the fucking law and say, y'all need to get the hell up out my bedroom right now. Because I know I let free reign. I know I do that. But I'm about done and getting ready to cut off the tap.
Yeah. Super tired. Yeah. You were very busy. You're a very busy. I can't talk. Very busy person. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the last thing you want to do when you're getting ready to go to bed is deal with 40.
Exactly. And the thing is, they weren't even being negative. Excuse me. They weren't being negative. They weren't being threatening or violent, but I still needed to voice that and get them to back the fuck up. And my point on that is, you can do that in your home. That's your home. Now, when people get really upset is when that doesn't work when they try to do it. 9 times out of 10, what you're dealing with is a spirit who has no idea you're there.
Oh, okay.
You might know they're there.
Right.
They don't have a fucking clue that you're there. They don't know. They can't see you.
Yeah, I've never thought about that aspect of it.
You can be at a location and see 2 separate spirits and they can't see each other.
Really?
Yes. I've watched it
really
happen.
It really is like, because I'm an electronics person, so I always put it into something to do with radios or something. But it really is like 2 different radios that are like, this is a walkie-talkie and this is a ham radio. And this one doesn't work on the same frequency that this one does. Even though they're both radios and you can use them to communicate with, they're just not on the same frequency.
Or sometimes they can see each other and they can't see you and they don't like each other. I mean, there's no rhyme or reason to it. There really isn't. And I think that people, in order to understand spirit activity, take it out of the box. Yeah. Everybody wants to take it out of, keep it in this nice little box where they can explain everything. Take it out of the box. The same thing when people ask me about, doing tarot readings and stuff like that. They're like, Vanessa, where do you get your information? I don't fucking know.
Yeah. It's just there. Cassie wants to know, is there a way to shut them off?
Yep. But be very careful doing that. Like I said, I did that for 20 years, almost 20 years, and I thought I was going to die. So the best thing to do is, because when you shut them off, they still try, because they can still see you as this light, this person that can see them, that can hear them, and they still try, and you'll go crazy. It will make you nuts. I was an alcoholic at 12. I couldn't drink enough liquor, and I still couldn't get drunk. I could pass out after 3 trays of Jell-O shots made out of Everclear. But I never felt drunk. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, it was bad. And that was at 12.
Yeah.
Because it was so bad. But it's one of the reasons why if I have a drink a year, it's amazing. You know, and I've been that way since I was about 22. So a long time. But you can shut them off. What I actually recommend doing, I recommend doing this with the living and the dead. More so the living actually than the dead. But
yeah.
Healthy boundaries.
Right.
Healthy boundaries.
Know when to put some time between you two.
Well, they had to learn because I was having them walk through walls at work, and I had one of them stand at the foot of one of my patients, and they were throwing stuff off of the counter, off of the shelves behind my patient to try to get my attention. So all this stuff was landing on my patient, and the doctor said, "One of your friends?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah." You know, and he's like, "Well, just tell them it'll be a minute," you know, and that happened at one of my offices. So I had to learn to make work a no-go place. I had to do that. I'm working on people's kids. I'm doing surgeries. I'm doing, sedation patients. I'm doing cosmetic work. Leave me the fuck alone. Unless it's super important. And when that has happened, I've listened. And I've been able to help. I was contacted by a missing person before the police even contacted me. So by the time the police contacted me, I already had the information. I already knew exactly who he was, and that shocked the hell out of the police. Go figure. But it's just setting healthy boundaries for the living and the dead, and just.
I just want to check real quick. We're not going over too much of your time, are we?
Oh yeah, I forgot you had to leave.
Well, he's not. I think the client forgot.
Maybe they're in the chat and just enjoying the show.
Yeah, I think he forgot. Let me double check. Hold on one second.
Okay. Yeah, I just didn't want to. Okay.
They're in the chat. I can guarantee you they're enjoying the show.
Oh yeah, this has been a great show with the chat.
I'm not driving y'all crazy yet.
Absolutely not. I'm telling you, you're getting invites.
We want you. Why don't you just come be here every Friday?
Oh God, well, if I had the time, anytime you want, if I can do it, I absolutely will.
Yay.
I know Gemma really wanted to talk to you more. She lit right up when you guys were talking, so it'd be really cool to have you back on.
Awesome, absolutely. I'm enjoying myself. After the day I had, it was a long day at the dental office, So, but
it's Friday and you're at the chop shop, so you don't have to worry about that anymore.
Well, and we've got some exploring to do tomorrow, so we're
cool.
We're working on. We have multiple projects going right now. It was really interesting. If you guys go onto the perfecttrustproductions.com, our last episode was at the Mary Washington house. I love you too, hon. And I highly recommend watching that. That was really fun to do. And that's what our Your and Lore series is if paranormal stuff happens, great. If it doesn't, okay. But it's all about the history and the lore and all the shit that people don't know that you can't read in history books. That was one of the things that we had. Somebody posted on Twitter that they'd gotten bored one night and they were reading their brother's history book, and it was the section about Ireland, and they said that they learned more from our 1.5 hour episode than they did from everything written in that book.
Oh wow,
that's gold.
That's awesome. Yeah, when you get feedback like that, it really makes you motivated to go out there and make more.
Oh yeah, and it's just about making it entertaining. Plus, we're funny as fuck.
Oh, I can tell. I'm sure it's pretty entertaining for sure.
We have a good time. We have a good time because it ain't about getting all dolled up for the camera and everything else. That people don't care about that. They don't give two shits. No. They want to be entertained and educated. And maybe learn something that you're never going to see in a history book or on another TV show. But
that's just a natural thing. We love to learn.
Huh?
We just love learning. It's like a natural thing that we start learning more information about something we didn't know about. It's just like, it brings you in.
Oh, yeah. Well, what I love doing, and one of the things that I want to do with the series that we're doing is I want to get some of the original maps of the areas that we're looking at, and actually I can trace those and overlay those with current maps, so we can see where these particular locations were, these historical locations that are no longer here, based on then and now, because they didn't have the roads there. We went, one of our next episodes is about Edgewood Plantation, which is actually the land is part of Berkeley Plantation, 1,400 acres. Well, there's a road going through it now, but there wasn't before, and it's all these different things. I'm a nerd. Just be okay with it. So I like
that's
that.
fun. It's good to be a nerd.
Especially for someone that didn't graduate high school, I mean, I went back in my 20s and got my diploma. So
right on.
Yeah. All right, ask me a weird question.
Vanessa, are all your books paranormal or some romance, because you're a girl?
I like that question.
Oh, you a funny guy.
She's like 80%. 80% are actually romance books.
No, my these are the books that I have written. Now, the first 5, I actually pulled from my previous publisher, and I will be taking 3 of those and going and doing a collector's edition with additional information, different additional stories and research. But this is the order of the books that I wrote. I wrote Soulscapes, which was a compilation of 10 years of investigations in automatic drawing. Then I wrote Giving Up the Ghost, which was basically my parabiography. Then I wrote Walking with Ghosts, which was investigations in, I think I had some from New Orleans in there. Maybe those were in Giving Up the Ghost, but it was investigations in Oklahoma, I believe New Orleans, Virginia, England, and Scotland. And then I wrote, what did I write? Rebel Witch, which is a book basically telling you be whatever kind of fucking witch you want to be and don't let people tell you can't. And then I wrote Diary of a Psychic Loser Magnet.
I love that.
This girl right here. And then, so I've pulled all of those, and under my own label, I wrote Ghost of Broad Island. And cool. That one is still out there. And then I'm taking the other ones. And like I said, I've already created the cover and everything. And I've pretty much got the book done, but it's not going to come out till July. It's titled They Would Have Burned Me.
Very cool.
And the cover's badass. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm a little proud, a little conceited over it. It's awesome, But yeah, and I mean, I'm just one of the authors for Perfect Trust Productions. Gwen Clapper is also an author. Chris Lash is an author. Kat Lavoie Sylvia is also an author. And we actually have another meeting with somebody, a possible new client Sunday. So nice. There's no days off.
Are you familiar with Beyond the Fray Publishing? It's me and Gemma. We've written a few books for them, and they're awesome. Ran by Jeff and Shannon LeGros. They're definitely rad and very open-minded. But yes, author to author, you definitely got to appreciate those dark hours and underground, just trying to illuminate the future.
Well, my book, Walking with Ghosts, I think was my biggest one. It was only 185 pages, but that was my biggest book. Because keep in mind, I write nonfiction. So if you read one of my books, it's like I'm sitting there telling it all to you. That's exactly how they're written. And I wrote that book 4 times. I wrote it twice in a notebook, once on the computer, and then I chucked the entire fucking thing and wrote all 185 pages brand new in 8 days.
That's amazing. How many words is that about? 35,000?
185 pages was about 42,000.
42,000, nice. Mine are like 26,000 to like 32,000. I like it short and to the point, but mine's the same style. It's like I'm here telling you about my encounters, my experiences, my thoughts, my dreams, but it's a story about me and it's a story about you because it's reflective. It's just an earthly experience.
Yeah, I have to be careful because I'm an Ellipsis fan. I got Okay, dot dot dot. It's like dun dun dun, you know. But I'm pathetic when it comes to that. So I'm getting better. But now the next one is the compilation of Giving Up the Ghost, Walking with Ghosts, and Rebel Witch. In addition to stories that I held back from sharing, research on locations and everything else. And in Walking with Ghosts, I did something that was really fucking ballsy. I actually asked different people that I had investigated with or for, or remote viewed for, to submit letters about their experience with me. And I said, I'm not touching them. I won't touch them. I won't change one word, not one letter, make sure it's edited. They could have said that I was the worst thing since pantyhose for all I knew. Nope. Put them all in there. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck what they say, even if they say that I suck. And I actually got to see them when the book came out, and it was all good stuff. So
wow, you didn't even look until it was published. That's really cool. I like that. And well, I mean, the last chapter of all my books, letters from family and friends, because Crazy Connor and Crazy Vanessa, well researched, well boots on the ground, but we're crazy. A lot of people, they're like, okay, but if we can build a spider web of people and pillars that were with us that could co-sign it, or even say some things that we didn't see, and experience some things that we didn't even pick up. It's a beautiful thing, and that's all. That's what I'm about, is bouncing energy off one another. And thank you, Sonny, for the invite, because everything is synchronicity. I feel like Josh is like right in between us, right there, just tripping out.
Oh yeah,
that's awesome. I had a young girl when I think it was Giving Up the Ghost came out, and because I didn't realize that my books were going to be in like 17 different languages and stuff. I didn't know that, and I found this by chance. It was her review of my book of Giving Up the Ghost, and it had to be translated. And she goes, I wanted this book the second it came out. I got it for my 16th birthday, and every page in it, if I open it up at any page, makes me feel like I'm not alone.
That's special.
Best thing ever written, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Best thing ever written. What she wrote with that means more to me than any amount of money, because that was the whole reason I did that. I took a chance on getting fired from my job. I took a chance on being disowned from my family. My abilities have ruined relationships, have ruined friendships, have cost me opportunities in the past. And I took a chance because I didn't want anybody else to feel that way, or to feel like they were alone. It cost me a job because one of the girls, because I read tarot, told the dentist at the office that I was applying for that I was a devil worshiper.
Oh,
so it cost me a job. I'm like, damn, this is the same bitch I read for, and then she told me I was going to go to hell.
Oh,
yeah.
Karma's a bitch.
A little bit. Yeah. So, but I didn't need that job anyway. I got a better one. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. That's the whole reason that's the whole reason that I'm kind of out and about with this stuff anyway. It's just, it's hard enough trying to be yourself when you are bombarded by all this stuff. And I'm a pretty tough cookie now, but I wasn't always. I was so easy to bully, so easy to be mean to, so shy, so unsure of myself. And I mean, honestly, I might as well have had "Welcome Matt" tattooed on my back, and the situations that I put myself into because of this, because there's just something very weird when you're a young girl and you have these particular abilities. It kind of changes this air about you, and it brings out some really nasty people, especially adult men, and so I wanted to put all this out there for those kids to know you're not weird. Start standing up for yourself. Have a voice. It's totally okay. By all means, kick somebody in the dick if you have to. It's totally okay. Do it.
You need to speak at schools.
I would love to.
You should speak at schools. Listen, kids. All right. Somebody calls you a devil worshiper. You come find me. All right. I'm your school counselor from now on.
I got you, boo.
You'd be a great school counselor. I'd be in there all the time.
Oh God, I'd be like fired the first day.
No, I don't know.
Be so done with me. What you got there? He's got a book. What you reading?
Oh, Sonny, he was holding up his phone.
Oh, I thought it was a book. God, my
looks like a book.
Even with my glasses.
It looks like a book.
Yeah.
No, I was checking the messages.
Okay.
Jackie, we got a donation earlier. Did you write that up? No.
I already put it up on the screen. I think you were busy.
Oh,
I saw it.
I was off page.
For Ange?
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you, Ange, for that donation to our PayPal account. Appreciate you.
Okay, throw another one at me.
Throw another one at you.
Yeah. I like weird.
What do you got,
questions.
Connor? You got another question?
Have you heard of the Hat Man, phenomenon going on crazy, recently?
Kind of like how Slenderman. I say it like I'm Jewish. How
Slenderman.
Slenderman.
Mr. Slenderman. Hello, Mr. Slenderman. Can you sit there, please?
But when things like that happen, when the phenomenon like that happens, a lot of that is what I would call and what I would hold it. He wants to.
And so he said that when you were talking to the kids, hey
That's
kids,
awesome.
how much room do you have in your freezer?
Today
we're going to talk about pictures.
I need a bigger one. I equate that to the same stuff like Slender Man and things like that, and the paranormal hypochondria that people have is when somebody tells a story like that and they get attention for telling a story like that, then somebody else tells a story like that. And it's the regurgitation of it it's like the exact same story by so many people. And I've warned people about this, especially when it comes to locations. If you go to a location and you only ever hear the same story, regardless of who's telling it, ding dong, that's a warning. That's a warning sign, because this earth is very, very old. Okay, very, very old, and people have been on it long before whatever that building was, and after. So if you only ever hear the same tales come out of the same place, there's a problem. Question that. And I don't give two shits how famous the place is.
Do you have any cool stories about Ohio or Florida?
I haven't been to Ohio. Did I go to Ohio? I think I've been through Ohio. I think I've investigated there. Florida, hell to the yes. St. Augustine's.
Yes.
Okay. The fort that they have there is very interesting. And if memory serves, and don't quote me on my history on this because it could be wrong, but I believe it's made out of seashells. And the wonderful thing about that fort was that when the ships would come in and they would shoot the cannonballs out, the fort, because it was made of seashells, would cushion those. The guys would run down, grab their own cannonballs, and sink these ships with those cannonballs. But the infirmary there was what really got me. My son was just under 2 when I flew him to Florida. And we went to that fort, and I hadn't fully come out of me blocking so much, but my kid was starting to. Because I said it was just under 2. So when he was talking to his Bubba and Sissy when he was 2, I had him in one of those little umbrella strollers. And we went to go into the infirmary. The second the first 2 wheels popped over the threshold, he screamed bloody murder. Pulled him back, stopped like that. And of course, I'm sick and twisted, so I went back in again. Screamed. Pulled him back, stopped just like that. And I'm like, damn, do I do it a third time? And I did. So I went back in just to make sure, because third time was a charm. He screamed again. He could not handle the energy of being in the infirmary. And I was still so blocked that I could feel the vibration, but I couldn't tell what it was. But my kid was wide open to it. And so I'm like, all right, I'm starting to understand this a little bit more now. And the fact that I needed to break out of that shell, I would love to go back there.
It's crazy that the stone fort, Castillo is your stepping stone to, kind of getting back into who you are. So, exactly. And then it kind of goes to St. Augustine for America. We know there was mound builders and kings and queens and pyramids here in America, but St. Augustine being the first colony is important. It has something to do with our standard life that we have to put up with. So I think it's definitely a sacred spot. Plus all the ley lines converging, heading towards the Bermuda Triangle. It's definitely a special place.
I have an issue with ley lines. Ley lines make me so sick.
Wow.
So yes. Depending on where they are, I had an issue with that in the up in New Jersey, going into New York, and not to where I'm like profusely vomiting and everything, but I mean it throws me off kilter, and it's a very uncomfortable feeling, and it magnifies whatever it is that I'm going through, as far as the paranormal stuff goes. But so I try, if I can, to avoid too many of those too often or too quick. Same with limestone. I have a weird thing with limestone. I can handle crystals all day long. Limestone weirds me out. And it's, like dowsing rods, can't use them. Every time they point directly back to me.
Really?
Every time.
What is that a sign of?
Don't know. They do it to my son too.
Really?
Yep. Hold them like this, and they point directly back and go across my neck like that. I am a Pisces, so they are water detectors, but my son's not. So I think it's something else, But I don't even own one piece of paranormal equipment.
Just
Not
you.
one.
No.
You're the magnet.
I prefer. And what I do a lot of is I do automatic drawing and automatic writing. So when I was at Hellfire Club in Dublin, we came up the hill because you kind of got to walk around it to get up there. And it was like we come around and it was right here. And the girls that I'm with, they're wanting to go right into it. And it's so cool. I want to go in too. But priest dude standing at the back of the place won't let me go in until I draw him. And so I sat down on this stone that was right next to where I found out they excavated a bunch of stuff out of there. And he was standing in front of this very narrow window. And he's not a good man, but he would not let me pass until I sat down and drew him. So I drew him, in all of his piety and nastiness. Drew a picture of him, papal hat, the whole kit and caboodle. Go inside, and I'm not really bothered. I'm not really bothered by too terribly much that's in there. There's some areas where I'm like, a little hanky-panky going on in here, and kind of not in a good way,
Not in a good way.
I go down the stairs that's kind of in the center of the building, and I go down the stairs, and I see one of those, the windows, and it was the window he was standing in front of in the back. And the way that the windows are in that, they're wider on the inside of the building and narrow on the outside. So if you had a bayonet or a rifle or whatever, you can move freely because you've got that open space. But somebody trying to shoot in or get you with a bayonet, they can only go direct. And so that's how they are. But on the floor of this room was a young girl and a preteen to teenage boy. And they were both nude. And she was sitting with her legs, her knees up to her chin and her arms wrapped around her legs and her head down, and just filthy, absolutely filthy. And she was chained to the wall, and the boy was laying face down with a chain still attached to his foot. And he had stab wounds all up and down his back. And it was just blood everywhere. And then there was the bucket of where they had when they were still alive, had to relieve themselves. And the irony of it being this room that priest was blocking was not lost on me. And I mean, I've been to Hellfire Caves in England. The debauchery there was extreme, but it was adult. It was adult. And you do you. Mm-hmm. I ain't judging. You get your freak on. It's not bothering me.
Yeah.
This was kids. So the Hellfire Cave in England, raunchy, but legal for the most part.
Right.
Hellfire Club in Ireland, vile. Absolutely vile. And I would love to go back just to be able to try and help them if I could, because I don't know. Okay. I don't know if they were in a residual thing or if they were physically there. I wasn't able to stay long enough to find out. So I would like to go back. And if they're still there and I can actually converse with them and try to help, I would like to, because that doesn't need to be eternity for anybody, especially two children. Boy, I took that to a dark place. I'm so sorry.
I'm like doom and gloom.
Yeah.
No, it's okay.
Sorry.
Hey, sometimes that happens on this topic, you know?
Yeah.
That's not always pleasant.
No.
No.
We actually have a viewer in Ireland right now. My buddy Damien, he's a Bigfoot researcher, and he has a lot of crazy things called energy overload out there in Ireland that pretty much you see faces and lights everywhere in nature. And, you know, some of it might be pareidolia, but something causes that as well. And, you know, energy is never created nor destroyed. It's always existed. So it's the most sacred thing out here. And the things that are more old than us, or at least know they're older, I think they can manipulate the grid and, you know, for better or for worse.
Oh, they manipulate a lot. And like I said, my very first day there, the last trip, we went to Morgan's Cave. Now, the interesting thing about that, and we talk about this in the videos, I talk about it in my book, we were led to Morgan's Cave, Cave of the Cats, by a cat. We rolled up, our friend took us there in the little SUV. We get out of the SUV and there's a cat waiting for us. And this cat walks us all the way to the entrance of the cave and then disappears. Okay. And we go down in there. But one of Morgan's symbols is a crow or a raven. We were followed the entire time we were in Ireland by the hugest murder of crows. They stayed on top of our hotel. They followed us to restaurants. They're not vocal at night. When we went to a cemetery in the middle of the night, and I'm talking like 1 o'clock in the morning, they surrounded the cemetery and were cawing almost the whole time. I actually have video of the day we left Balladrine and was getting on the bus to head to Dublin because we had friends fly in from Scotland. And they all came to the town center of Balladrine, and I caught a video of it, and just the cacophony of sound that came from all of them. There were hundreds of them. Tell me that wasn't Morgan. I won't believe you. We were so fucking protected while we were there. It wasn't even funny. It was amazing. And you want to talk about synchronicity? God damn. Every fucking thing we did. And we had no plan. We did this all in the seat of our pants. We had one suitcase with clothes and equipment in it and one suitcase with food. We went there butt ass broke. And we did this. And every single thing lined up to the next thing. It was perfect. And you cannot tell me that wasn't an act of the gods.
When you follow your destined path, your needs are met in abundance. I'm big on that. I lived out of my car, built a bed in my little Ford Contour, only been back home once in the last 5 years. And the last 5 years, half decade, been pretty good to me. So you just have to burst the bubble of comfort that we live in, and boom, this creator is just going to keep surprising you around every corner. And again, for better and for worse, sometimes you're going to be surprised and you're going to be a little spooked, but you're not in fear for your life. To touch back on that, we have to be clear with our thoughts and stand on the ground and ground ourselves in earthing. We have to just slow down once in a while. So we have to stop discussing as scared, or I don't know, just we jump to conclusions way too fast. And I have to take my advice myself as well. We all do, but I love it.
I think the biggest thing is just to remember to be respectful. That was one of the things that we were really tested on when we were over there. We spent time in Toome, Ireland, which is where one of the worst mother and baby homes was, and that would have been a perfect opportunity to go there and film and try to get EVPs and everything else. Absolutely fucking not. We documented the area. We paid homage to the children, and we left. That's respect.
That's balance.
We already know what happened to them. We already know.
Mm-hmm.
That's legally documented. We already know what was done to over 800 children on that land alone. We already know. Why the fuck am I going to take an EVP recorder out there and try to hear a baby crying? Why the fuck would I do that?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I've had those same thoughts before.
Yeah. Respect.
Mm-hmm.
Respect. And plenty of people would have. They would have.
Oh, yeah, for the views and the likes. Mm-hmm.
Again, going back to what I said earlier, I don't care. Now, please view the stuff. And if you don't like it, say it. I don't care. Mm-hmm. Oh, you should have seen this girl tear my ass a new one. I came back from Ireland with a backpack full of relics that were given to us. Death coins to go over the eyes, both adults and children. Multiple religious statues with the heads knocked off. Holy water, and a Last Rites Bible. That all of this came from the same priest who died in 1949. These had been in the wall since his death. They were what he used. He was sanctioned by the Vatican to perform exorcisms. And he came from Ireland and lived in Michigan and worked there with the diocese. He came back to Ireland to die. And so these had been in the wall for almost 80 years. And they were taken out of the wall when the family went through to redo the house, given to a friend of mine, and he had entrusted us with them. Pagans given these religious relics. Somebody saw that on YouTube and lost their shit that they were given to us. Well, I don't know what to tell you, but they're ours. They will never be sold. No one will ever touch them. If I ever take them on the road to show people, they will be encased in glass and they will be passed down to my son when I die. They're not going to end up in anybody's museum or nothing like that. These were, you want to see?
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me get my box. Ow.
Okay.
My ass is numb.
Oh, yeah, that happens on these long podcasts.
Hold on. I'm getting it.
No problem.
Good to be back with my bros.
Hey.
Yeah, man.
Always
What's
good to see you,
good?
man.
What's happening, Connor?
What's up? Man, Spooky Morales, he's just trying to live over here.
Right.
This is like just trying to make it, man. It's like battle of the fittest.
Hey, while we're waiting for her to come back, I just wanted to say our sponsor for tonight
Lord.
is Breeze Hustle or Die Cream Pies. Just go to check out Jamie and Bree's channel if you are interested in any cream pies from them. Awesome.
Okay, so this is the Last Rites Bible from 1847.
Whoa. Hold on, let me there we go. Whoa.
With handwritten notes.
Whoa.
In it.
1847?
1847.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And hold on. I'm going to save this one for last because that was crazy as fuck. I'm going to tell you that in a minute. Okay. One of the statues.
Wow.
Ooh,
Yeah.
cool. Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. And Gwen's got one of the other statues. This bottle of holy water has never been opened. This was in a wall for almost 80 years.
Really?
Oh.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
Yes. Isn't that
intense.
crazy?
Yeah, that's awesome.
And this is me and Gwen split up the coins for a very specific reason. And I'm going to explain why here in just a second. Let me grab so you can see the difference. Okay. These are like the Sharona Dobala coins. Do you see the different sizes?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Children, adults.
Oh.
And we split these up. I'm going to get my flashlight here and see if I can get the date on these. I'm trying to remember. We split these up because we didn't know which ones were paired. And we did not want anyone to get their hands on ones that were meant to go together.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This one, 1870. It's 1870 right there. And
cool.
This one, let's see here. This one's so old, it's been worn down by thumbs, but it is 1837.
That's so cool to think of all the stuff that's been through.
I've actually held coins that were held by Grace O'Malley, the pirate queen.
There's a
amazing.
pirate queen?
What's the date on those coins?
Oh, no, I don't have those. I've held them.
I know, but like, what's the date on them?
1837.
No, those coins, but the pirate coins.
Oh God, I can't remember.
Would have been
Like,
17
what,
something.
What
old
year
as,
range?
old as fuck.
Yeah, it would have been
Ancient.
17 to 1600s, late 1600s.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah.
Now, you talk about synchronicity. Be ready. I was given this statue, which is broken off here, and the head's broken off. That generally happens during an exorcism. This is a very specific statue with the red robes, the green, holding the what would have been flowers in the hands right there, okay? And the anchor, which is very specific. If you look this up, that is Saint Philomena. Now, what you don't know is, and we got these these were given to us at the end of the trip. When we went to Tomb and went to the Bon Secours mother and baby home down there, paid our respects and everything else. The mother, have you ever heard of the movie Philomena? Now I know
That
Chad.
one I haven't heard of.
No, I haven't.
I highly, highly, highly recommend watching it because it's the true story of one of the mothers whose child was stolen from her from the Catholic Church when she was in one of the mother and baby homes, because if you were an unwed mother, your family kicked you out and you had nowhere to go. And so you went to these mother and baby homes and they helped you give birth. And you worked it off for 4 years in their laundries and everything else, which was grueling, like 18 hour a day labor. And you got to see your child for 1 hour out of the week, I think is what it was. Her name was Philomena, and her son was stolen from her because that's what they did. If they didn't kill the kids by starvation, putting them in a room by themselves and throwing them into the sewage tanks, they sold them to Americans in illegal adoptions. Philomena, this one, is a patron saint of babies and children. And we were given this the last day of our trip after having went to Tomb.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that is
That's synchronicity. I carry these bitches on my back in a backpack through customs and everything else. then Gwen and I split them up so that no energy could be, hurt that way. Amelia, I'm looking at that deepest part of the ocean. I could see that.
Yeah, I really like that idea.
Yeah, I could totally see that.
I'm big on her still being alive down in Middle Earth. She just found an entrance into Middle Earth. There's resources down there that keep you alive longer. Hopefully she's still kicking. But Mr. Ballin did a very interesting video about how she might have been a victim of a bunch of crabs eating her on a beach. So it's very interesting. I hope everybody looks into it.
Oh, ow. Well, I think Tupac's still alive.
Heck yeah.
I do. The man was brilliant, by the way. Tupac was fucking brilliant. And he was a hugely inspired by Machiavelli.
Yep.
And he was very, very, very smart. And I actually think that he is in South America. And I have since the day. I've never believed he was dead.
Him and Biggie just kicking it there?
No, Biggie's passed away.
No Biggie? Okay.
Yeah, Biggie passed away. I do believe that. But there are too many strange occurrences surrounding Tupac's death.
For sure. You play his songs backwards and he's talking like he's Machiavelli.
No, not so much that. There's one thing that should really always tip people off after somebody is deceased is when years later, newly discovered music comes out and they have a family to support. A mom, a sibling, and so that's immediate income coming in. It's just something to consider. Not saying I'm right, but there's a few. Now, Elvis died. Sorry, y'all. I dated a pharmacist. He told me what he was taking, and yeah, Elvis died. I have pictures of Elvis kissing my mother.
Oh, really?
I had pictures of Kirk Douglas on the set of Posse because we were there when I was 2 and my middle brother was 4 and my oldest brother was 6 in Tucson, Arizona. So I do have actual photographs of Kirk Douglas.
That's pretty cool.
The old photographs, the kind that are now kind of faded. But yeah, I have that. All right, I'm getting off in weird subjects. Ask me something. Or if you're ready to kick me off, you just let me know.
In weird subjects. No, we're not. You're definitely not getting kicked off.
Have you ever looked into like sensory deprivation tanks?
I didn't look into them. I heard about on Facebook, where I got my information, about the quietest room in the world. And I'm like, you know what? They said it's like $100 for 20 minutes or something like that. That's one of those things I would waste my money on. I would like to do it. I would be very interested in that. The only thing about the sensory deprivation tanks that scare me is I am extremely claustrophobic.
Me too.
And they have to enclose you in something like that. And I have if I have to go in surgery, I have to be strapped down because I've come out swinging. I've knocked out 2 doctors. I'm a puncher, and that worries me because I think that this feeling would be the same as being under a large dose of anesthesia. I don't think I would be able to tolerate it. So I can't even do nitrous. I will wig the fuck out.
Yeah.
Yes, because I feel like I don't have full control of my faculties. I might be a Pisces, but I am a control freak when it comes to me. Not other people. You do you. Yeah. But for me, I am very, very, very much a type A personality. And I can't tolerate not having full control.
Yeah. I think that's why I can't fly in airplanes.
Oh, now that I would do all day long. I actually fall asleep the second I get in it. I am one of those.
I was hoping you were going to relate with me.
Oh,
Jeff would too. He'd pass out from fear.
I'd pass out from Xanax.
I'm telling you right now, I think people flying next to me must hate me because I am just like that.
I could fly if I could do that.
Oh, yeah.
I'd be wide awake the whole time, freaking out.
I'm usually baked on edibles, looking at the window at Sasquatch.
You need to have your first trip be a very long trip. And that would break you of that. Because I actually did used to be that way. It used to wig me out. But when I did my first overseas flight and I got to be in a more comfortable setting with good food and your own little TV on the back of the chair in front of you and everything else, it makes you a lot more comfortable and it makes it very enjoyable. And now I'm just like, fuck it. I don't care. I'm sleeping. If I'm snoring, snap my mask. I don't know. Do what you got to do, but I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Maybe that's what I should do, is just stay up for a couple days and then go in there super tired and get on a plane. That'd
Or
work.
take Benadryl.
Yeah, that'd work too.
Yeah, just take Benadryl. Just
You'll
enough
forget
to
to wake up.
relax.
You'll forget to wake up and end up where you started out from.
Oh my God.
No, he ain't lying. He ain't lying, and I'm gonna tell you why. I was taking the train from Edinburgh to Glasgow, and they had the little ticker tape at the top that tells you what your stops are. And I'm like, oh, I'll be fine. I'm just gonna rest my eyes for a second.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw the name of it, rested my eyes, opened my eyes back up, the same name. So I'm thinking, oh, that's nothing, until I heard them on the loudspeaker. I had went all the way to where I was supposed to get off and come all the way back.
And now you're going the wrong way.
Oh, no.
Yes. So I grabbed the lady in the train, and I said, I fucked up. Can we fix this? And she contacts the other train, and she goes, you're going to have to jump. And I'm like, all right, I got this. I can do this. And I actually had to run and jump off a moving train to land on a platform to jump on another moving train going the opposite direction.
Oh, no.
And I did it. I made it to Glasgow in time for dinner.
There you go. That would be my luck, though, staying on the plane too long.
No, they'd kick you off. The train was just going to let me sleep for whoever knows how long.
Right, yeah. Trains aren't like that. The trains will just let you sit there.
When you first said it, I thought maybe a whole day had passed and you were just getting back to that town.
No.
I was like, yeah, you're asleep.
I could have used the sleep, but no, it wasn't that long. It was probably about 2.5, 3 hours. Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Good little nap.
I did it. It really was.
You had that nap, or you never jumped on out of the train.
Do what?
You'd have been too tired to jump on out of the train. You're lucky.
Yeah, good thing you took a nap.
True story. True story. I needed it. I was exhausted. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh.
You know that's contagious.
I can't believe I've been on here this long. I did good, didn't I? I mean, I didn't fall asleep. Nothing.
You've done great. The chat loves you. Everything's going good. Man,
I've been up since 4.
You've been up since 4?
Yeah. The office that I work for now, we have to be there by like 6:15.
Ooh.
And then I work until almost 5. So I only do it 4 days a week.
Day.
Yeah, but it's only 4 days a week.
Oh, that's not too bad then.
No.
8 hours? Oh,
no.
You just told me hours.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I would rather do it this way. I have like a stellar schedule. I work 2 days on, 1 day off, 2 days on, 2 days off.
That's cool.
I mean, that's not bad. That's not bad.
Yeah.
And it keeps me from being too cranky.
Day shift?
Yes.
All the time? Okay, that's cool at least.
Yeah. No, yeah, because it's dentistry. So we do a lot of cosmetic dentistry.
Yeah, I've heard of those people that do I don't know if they call them swing shifts or split shifts or something like that, where they'll have day shift for a couple days and then they'll go to afternoons for a couple days and then back to day shift. I'm like, there's no way.
I've had a couple midnight extractions after hours.
Really?
Off the books. Oh yeah.
Off the books?
Oh yeah, a couple of my back teeth that were like really jagged a couple of years ago, off the book. So I always thought that. I was like, what if another dentist like takes my X-rays like and asks me about it? Or, do I out them? They're watching right now. Dentist, I got you, bro. Send me the package.
No, I couldn't do the swing shifts. I can't. I'm like even tomorrow. I don't work tomorrow. I will be up no later than 5:30. No later, because I have to. But we're going to be exploring all day tomorrow, so I'm excited. We're going to Jamestown.
Heck yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, I'm stoked.
That's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, we were talking about that earlier, how you separate work from the fun times that you have and the adventurous times, and it's almost like you're two different people.
Yeah, well, and for me, the lines are blurred. You know, just like even when I talk about going overseas and stuff like that, it's always work, but it's just fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Different type of work. The work that you'd rather be doing the whole time.
Yeah, if I could just make enough money at it. You
Right.
know? I mean, for fuck's sake, it's not too much to ask.
Yep.
I have worked since I was 13 years old. Damn it. I want to do what I want.
I'm going to start making some money doing this. At least just
I know,
to
right?
maintain so you can keep doing it.
There's no money. There's no money in the paranormal. And I mean, people just fool themselves thinking that they're going to get rich or super duper famous on it. And I never wanted to be known for being a psychic. Never. Was the last thing in the world I wanted. But if you want to make me famous for great books or cool art, I'm your girl. You know, I got a store on Redbubble. We got 246 designs on there, and we sell stuff. And a lot of that is my hand-drawn art or my graphic art or our photography.
Oh, that's sweet.
And books and everything else. But the psychic shit, that was like the last thing in the world I ever expected myself to be known for. It just kind of happened.
That's how a lot of this happens. I feel like a lot of the people we talk to, they're just like, it just happened. It's just like this podcast and the podcast we do on Tuesdays and Thursdays and just meeting everybody in the community. And, you know, a year ago, I didn't know any of these people. So it's, and now everyone feels like family.
I have had more fun tonight on this podcast than I have in a long time on a podcast.
Oh, that's so good to hear.
So I appreciate y'all because we just talked.
Yeah. Just having a cool conversation.
That's nice. And sure, throw some paranormal shit in there. Sure, throw some other shit in there. And that's great. But it wasn't, okay, Vanessa, tell us all about yourself. And when did this happen? And I don't know. Stop it. You know? I mean, I get tired of talking about myself. Let's talk about cool shit. I'm not cool, right?
Shit. Oh no, you're definitely cool.
I'm a mess. Okay.
Peppa
y'all are so
Aren't we all?
This is awesome.
These are nice people. They're just so lovely. Y'all go and watch those episodes. You okay? I don't think I got all the conditioner out of my hair. So I took a shower for you people.
Oh yeah, let me put that back. Can you give me the name of your channel one more time again? I'm sorry to ask again.
Well, I slur my words because it's an accent. Perfect Trust Productions.
I just want to make sure I put it back in the chat again.
Yeah. And in all honesty, and I hate the way this sounds, but I gotta say it anyway. If you just Google Vanessa Hogle, all the shit pops up. Okay. It's all there. That was the weirdest thing. Is Googling myself the first time, and I got like 10 pages on Google.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah, isn't that creepy?
That's weird. I was embarrassed to send you my bio. I was embarrassed.
Oh, yeah, don't be embarrassed.
Hey,
oh, my stars. Your name is Hoot.
Hi, hello. I am the resident chat troll, Jamie. Hello, everybody. Hello.
Yeah, the resident chat troll.
I've been waiting for 3 hours for this goddamn link to drop. I've been waiting forever. It took me so long. As you see, I clicked it right away.
Yeah. You actually said something in the chat that I could bring up, so I appreciate that.
I dropped it to you, Jamie. I dropped it to you in your messenger.
Where? I don't fucking Instagram. Ago? I don't fucking Instagram.
3 hours ago?
Of course, you know that I don't Instagram or Facebook. You fucking know that.
You have such a trash mouth.
Yes, I do. Yes. And you know what, Mr. Crowley? I'm going to punch you in your fucking face.
I'm going to punch you in the fucking face.
Punch you in your face.
Oh, God. This is where it gets crazy.
I was like, can you put the after hours sign on?
The after hours sign?
Yeah.
Not yet. This is still normal hours.
This is the new mic. Does it sound all right?
It sounds great, actually.
Does it?
Can you hold it closer to your face?
I'll hold it really close for you, baby.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Hold it where you want to keep it, and then I'll turn you up accordingly because it is a little quiet.
It's right here.
Okay. I'll bring you up to about there, I think.
Hey, Spooky, how you doing tonight?
Thanks, Chad, for bringing me up.
Yeah, no problem.
No
You
problem.
seem to be taking a lot of breaks.
Yeah, Spooky, what's up?
You okay?
Spooky, you're muted, bud.
How is it under your desk, Spooky?
Yeah.
Just asking.
Thank you
Why
for
you gotta
letting me
take
out
all-
from under your desk. I appreciate it. It was really hot under
Dude,
there.
I'm just gonna say this for the last like 6 months. I'm tired of Spooky taking all my bitches.
Is that what it is? Taking all of them?
I'm just saying.
Listen, I have a whole date planned with Chad tomorrow. You guys have no idea what I have planned. I've been making so many things for him.
We got a podcast for the ages going on tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on with Chad next month.
Are you?
Mr. Crowley's on next month.
Nice. Oh, we're going on this month on the 22nd. 2/22/22 is when we're coming on Chad's show.
Oh, we're gonna have to make that one special.
Right?
Oh man, that's good.
That's early for you guys.
I know.
Actually,
Chad, just so you know, I took the whole day off of work for you.
Really?
Really?
Wow.
Wow.
That means
the
a
whole
lot.
day.
We're changing the
Wow.
universe. We're changing the universe.
I know. I took the whole day off so I could spend it with you.
Oh, I appreciate that.
I just
Since we're
totally didn't
Valentine's.
say what I was going to say. Anyway, go ahead.
Listen, I'm over here trying to get multiple husbands, and I'm really sick of everyone trying to fucking cock block me all the time and like hating. They're like, Jamie, one at a time, one at a time. I'm really over it. I've told everybody several times that I am Mormon, spelled incorrectly, and that I can have as many husbands as I want. I'm sick of the shit. Everybody,
you're
and
many
also,
things.
and also, Fap in the chat. I'm so sick of you being afraid of me. There's nothing to be afraid of. Get over it.
Fab, click on the
can
link
see
and then
that.
you can come up here and talk to
You
Jamie.
can come here. We can fucking battle it out right now. I'll collect
Yep.
you as one of my fucking husbands too.
Hey, where's the goat?
Yeah, where's
the
Bree?
goat?
Bree, click the link. It's in the damn chat.
So
Fuck, she was-
basically, you're saying in Vegas we're running a train.
No,
No, that's what you just said.
no. I don't mix my men together like that. One at a time. One at a time. I'll talk over you if I fucking want, Mr. Crowley. What the fuck are you gonna do about it?
Punch you in the fucking face.
Punch you in the fucking face.
Wow, this is the most vulgar. If this video doesn't get taken down, I don't know what is wrong with YouTube.
Oh, you haven't seen the one the other night? Dude was fucking whacking off.
Oh my god, you guys. Okay, so we do this thing now, me and Bree. Where it was after our live. Listen. It was after our live. We did like a little private party that nobody of you guys showed up to other than fucking Mr. Crowley because y'all are fucking assholes. But anyways, so Bree goes on Omegle and she just starts fucking with people, and two different dudes were jacking it. But she was literally just like looking at people, just like, what's up with your butthole? Yeah. And like all of us are in the back. God. Oh my god, JoJo's here. JoJo heard buttholes and he was like, I'm here.
I'm sorry, Vanessa.
Where's the background, JoJo? Or not?
Hey, last night,
Alexa, all lights on.
Last
we
night
had
you
an
sent me a
after hours.
link. I
We had
know.
an after hours party for.
There you
for
go,
UFO
JoJo.
Garage.
Oh,
I
Sonny,
know.
you would have
I
fucking
heard.
died.
6.5 hours.
Oh my god, no, yeah. I was sleeping.
Lee came
Fucking
on for
Joe
First Audio.
Joe
fell asleep
texted me
too.
the link when they were on, or no, Ben texted to me. Ben texted me the link when they were on and was like, come on and hang out. And I was like, I literally just took off my clothes and my makeup, and like, I'm not gonna go sit on stream with you right now. Like, I literally just did that.
No, I didn't see. I saw Chad's StreamYard invite. Like, I was fucking way passed out by the time I saw
Oh
that shit.
no, I have to wake up early and go to like the human job every once in a while.
Dude,
Even though I do
everybody
it
got
very
off
little.
that, and then Lee from First Floor Audio.
Spooky's the only one getting off tonight.
Oh boy, I rushed home to get back on the stream with Sonny and Lee and Spooky, and we hung out for a little while, and then they all left. Yeah, Spooky can't hold it together with Jamie.
Look at Spooky's face. I can't fucking deal with this.
Oh my god.
Spooky laughing makes me laugh every time. And also, everyone thinks that I'm joking about being sober and my Capri Suns, but I'm not. I don't fucking drink. They're
I
just
believe
Capri
you're
Suns.
sober.
Yeah, because we know what's in that shit.
It's just
Lots of
fucking
sugar.
Capri Suns.
Oh my god, how many do you have?
Well, they're the Pokemon ones.
Oh, that's cool.
That's
So
what I'm
Yeah,
me
you
and
gotta have
Bigfoot had a good conversation earlier. That was cool.
Hmm?
Cool.
Bigfoot and I had a good conversation earlier. That was cool.
I love
actual
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot?
Anon. You're a sweet soul. I love you so much.
Oh,
Thank
You're
you.
an angel.
Honor.
You're doing the Lord's work out there.
I appreciate it. I appreciate the love and support too, because again, I'm just a crazy guy in Florida, but I represent all of us, who are fighting for freedom and fighting for the truth.
on the ground.
It's wild. Mr. Crawley and I had a little side conversation in like hour 1 of this, and I was actually kind of bragging to one of my friends yesterday that I know someone that has some inside information, like Mr. Crawley, and then our situation that we were talking about was similar to what that information is. So I don't know. It's just a lot going on. Area 51, Area 52, Vegas tunnels. It's a lot.
Talk about synchronicities. I was just about to say we need Josh in here tonight, and then he pops in.
Where's Josh?
I'm gonna smack you. I'm gonna smack you.
I was
Did Josh
just
fix that
thinking
wall
that,
yet?
man.
Josh, you
Synchronicities,
fixed that
yo.
wall yet?
Dude.
Did you fix the wall, Josh?
Trippy.
Or not?
Fix my what?
Why does he look like Max
I
Headroom?
think there might be a delay.
Oh,
got a big ass Mufasa.
I'm in the middle of it, actually.
He looks like Max Headroom right now. Remember Max Headroom from the 80s?
Yeah.
Yep.
Jojo. You little sweet
I'm like,
down there.
I drew this. I drew this, man. That's my art.
Did he say
You drew
Jerkin?
that?
Drew it.
Yeah, I'm the artist, man.
Josh is really good
Actually,
artist, man.
Yeah, we're not going to harass Josh. You
yeah,
be
I
kind
just-
to Josh. Josh is a sweet
I
I
angel
love
soul.
Josh. We're cool.
You drew that?
Sick.
I just
Yeah.
did this.
Stop
Look,
bullying me.
that's my signature right there. That's
Come
my
on, you
signature.
did. You really drew
that's
that?
my signature.
I'll fight you, Mr.
Yes,
Crowley.
that's my signature.
No,
That is my
I'll be down to
signature
Vegas, bro.
right there. This
I'm
is,
feeling a little bit of
okay, this is
sarcasm
horrible. I
from you.
shouldn't be. I'm
Never
done.
had
This-
a naked
this-
girl.
okay, I shouldn't be showing y'all this. I did the Governator. Yeah, this is I did. I'm not holding on to this for any particular reason. This is my ex-girlfriend. I meant to throw this shit away. I meant to burn it. Really, I'm dead
Burn
serious.
it.
Oh,
That's my ex.
Burn
like,
it,
I'm
fuck
dead
it.
damn,
serious.
dude. You're
No,
right.
it feels good to burn shit like that.
That's beautiful.
I am gonna burn it. Really.
Were her eyes crossed like
Okay.
that, or did
Okay.
you draw it like that?
No, serious.
Maybe I should buy one of your
Are
pieces
they
for my
crossed?
gallery.
I might have been.
He's like,
You know
sorry,
what?
at the bottom of the
We
barrel.
might have been
I'll take
fighting.
them
You
cross-eyed
know,
bitches.
I'll burn it. That's horrible. That's horrible. We might have been fighting that day. We might have been fighting that day. No, are they really?
Oh my god.
Y'all got me on here the worst time because
JoJo's
I'm-
camera angles.
I'm buzzed.
Welcome to
Yeah,
chaos.
JoJo's got the best camera angles.
JoJo's a fucking
That's the
champion.
camera
I
angle
think
there.
JoJo should go in Omegle. I think he would fucking love it.
Let's put my Omega. I swear to God, I'll fucking do it right now.
No, I'm
That'd be so awesome.
Could you imagine JoJo on Omegle just doing that to people?
No, I'm not joking though. Like
No.
Hey,
Jamie, send him a link.
I drew this
hey, where's
earlier,
Joe
man.
Starkey
Oh my
at? We
God.
need to- somebody needs to
Oh,
change him.
got me on here the worst time because I got too much of a buzz right now.
Oh, we love
Josh, we
Buzz
love
Josh.
you.
Bree said, "You guys are killing Vanessa's vibe."
I'm trying not to
Vanessa,
fall
man.
asleep. I'm gonna have to go. 'Cause
Oh,
I'm
that's okay,
exhausted.
Vanessa. We really appreciate you.
Bye,
Yeah, oh man.
Bye. Thank you so much for coming out with us.
You're unbelievable.
Be
You're
ready
awesome.
for invites.
Do I have
You're
a
getting
lag?
invites.
Y'all
I
think
will.
you-
I gotta. All right.
Bree, where are you?
All right, bye.
Bye, Vanessa. Thank you.
Bree,
Bree's
where
a
are
lazy
you?
Bitch. She doesn't like get
I'm
involved.
real
at
sick
all.
of it. Get in here, Bree.
Hey,
Hey,
hey, real
Cassie,
quick, I
Cassie
want
gotta
to
be
say,
in here
Joe was
tonight.
hanging out with us
can I
tonight.
ask you something real quick?
What?
What?
Are you the one talking about Uwari earlier? I need to ask real quick before you get off.
Oh, she's already off.
Oh, she's already gone, Josh. You have a delay.
Who's talking about Uwari
no.
earlier?
I saw Bree.
God,
There's
y'all
Bree.
know I like-
Hi,
That's
guys.
it.
Are
That's
not
it.
worthy.
You guys
Bree.
are
Not worthy.
away.
Bree, here's a development. I want to punch Jamie in the face now.
Yeah, he wants to punch me in the face now.
Actually, I was kind of sad because
Wait,
I
wanna
thought
be
that
that
was
free.
just like something we had that was special.
Do I still have
But-
a lag?
No, I'll
Everybody?
still smack that ass.
Out here.
I'm just gonna punch her in the face. Just
Here, we have to
Chad.
put goat in first position.
I was like, Chad, can you please
Second,
put
I
me?
just put me over
Chad,
there.
can you please put me underneath Spooky?
I knew
Oh
you were
my
gonna ask for that.
Hey,
Here, let's
I'm-
put.
Man, Chad.
I'm always on top.
Wait,
I
can
just
I be
gotta-
on
Are you
top
doing
of
it?
Spooky? Wait,
Poor Josh said he's
Oh, I
always
can-
on
I can
top. Damn.
Can I be on top of? Can I be on
So
top
much
of
work.
Spooky? I want a breed sandwich, or a some kind
Now
of.
you're
No, 'cause-
way
no,
down
'cause
at
Joe
the
has to
bottom.
be
You're like, I
first.
want some kind of sandwich.
We're like, what?
Yeah.
What kind of sandwich are you
Put-
looking for?
Put Spooky on the bottom.
Spooky's
Oh,
in a
no,
Jamie
what's
and Bree
happening with
sandwich
JoJo?
right
JoJo. I know,
No.
thanks.
Put Spooky on the bottom. Jamie in the middle, and me on top.
now. What is going on?
Would JoJo not be so good on Omegle?
He would be perfect on Omegle, dude. They'd be like, what
Someone
the hell?
help me with my fucking computer so I can get back on there. You guys would be so much fun to do it with.
Oh my god.
I love JoJo. Jonas and titties. Hollywood Squares Paranormal.
That button is busting right there.
I know, right?
You guys realize I don't laugh until I'm around you guys.
Well, that's good.
Let's get it
Oh my god, he put up the
Oh my god.
Chad, we need
Oh,
some
you guys-
intervention here, man.
You guys, you better drop that link tree cast and show the titties. Show the titties.
All I can think about is it puts the lotion on the skin.
JoJo.
Oh, there you got some diamond cutters going
He
there.
does what
JoJo.
he's told.
Yes, darling.
Grab the candle wax, JoJo.
Oh my god. Don't tell him that.
We want to see the
Somebody
spill.
God, I was out
Slow
here
drip.
being inappropriate.
I'm gonna
Somebody
get.
slipped JoJo ecstasy.
Oh.
I'm gonna get.
Right?
I'm
Oh my
gonna get my
God.
nipple clamps out now.
Oh no, JoJo.
I'm getting my
put 'em on
nipple
that fucking thing.
clamps.
Don't
I
jinx
just
it.
jumped in the butt stuff
Oh,
on
no.
steroids.
You
I
know?
can, but only because Spooky makes me.
What is happening?
So,
Oh Lord.
so we are gonna get nipple rings at the November.
Yeah,
UFO
when we
launch.
go to Texas. Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Chris,
Nipple
pull out
piercings
that
in
dick
Texas.
I've got
Texas,
rings.
yeah.
that'll be awesome.
I like Texas.
Yeah.
whip. Pull out the dick whip,
I've
Chris.
got rings from 3 of my nipples.
All
no.
right, man, that'll be
Wait.
awesome.
Wait,
I mean, we'll be out at that
What?
place. I guess what we'll do
What?
is we'll
Josh,
I've
your
done it for all
nipples
3 of my nipples, guys.
Josh, you have your nips
and
done?
do,
Your
do
nipples
all
pierced?
of us.
Let's
right?
see the nippies, Josh.
Yeah, I want to check
You
it
know,
out.
because
Come on, Josh.
All 3 of them.
Fucking shirtless. Don't get
All
pussy.
3 of them.
I can't concentrate.
Three?
Okay, all
Professional
three of them.
come out.
All 3 of them.
I thought a bunch of us were
I
going to
got
get
it all.
nipple rings.
It's okay over here.
Oh
I
my
thought everybody was going to get
god.
nipple
My
rings.
life that bag. Let me jump off and try to get back on, guys.
Yeah, your leg's pretty
So bad.
I
severe.
want to see
We need to get
Josh's
Josh some internet.
piercings.
I
Hey,
know
Papa
for real.
Willie. Jamie asked you to pop that top off earlier.
I do every time. I tell him to pop the buttons on his
Same.
overalls every time.
Pop the buttons.
Yeah.
Oh, you got them diamond
JoJo.
cutters out. You got them diamond cutters out.
Wait until Ben and Joe see that you've done that. They're gonna be jealous.
Joe's supposed to be here. Did he take the night off or something? And
I
he
thought they had a
to
show.
hang out, party with us.
No, they have shows on Thursday nights.
I swear I saw that they were live.
Big
Tuesdays-
Willie's live right now.
Tuesdays
Oh,
and
Big
Thursdays.
Willie.
Oh, that's
He just
right,
told us
that's
last
right.
night that now he will try to make himself more available Friday and Saturday night for when we hang out. And I told
Oh.
him, that we would love that because he's the one that's always missing.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we love Big Willie. Even I had to add him when I added you guys on our
Joe.
show. When you guys
We're
came
talking
on, I
about Joe.
added Big Willie.
Dude,
I was
I've
talking about
been on-
Joe.
Yeah,
I've
Joe,
been on
Big Willie's
Big
always
Willie
here.
So fucking long.
I was like, I love Big Willie. I love Joe too. Joe's a little sweet angel, and so's
Big
Ben.
Willie can't wait to get off whatever podcast
Fab.
he's doing so he can come
See you,
hang out
Fab.
with the boys.
I know, right? I'm out. See you
Yeah,
next
Fab.
week.
Come hang out
Bye,
on our
Fab.
channel.
I hope you have nightmares about me.
Jamie,
Go
and Bree,
Rams!
Jamie and Bree. I
Bengals.
got Ryan Sprague back on UFO Garage, and he's willing to come on yours if you want to talk.
Oh, it's so exciting. All right, we'll talk
Check
about
out
it.
Big Willie show.
Why are you so
So
pissy?
excited. I'm not. I just said that's so excited.
I swear to you, I'm punching you in the fucking face. I
I'm
swear.
gonna punch you in the
Oh my
fucking
God,
face.
you guys are
okay?
something else.
Listen,
Like
if
a
we
married
JoJo
couple.
over here with his fucking nips out.
He heard
And
Omegle. He thinks
truthfully-
we're on Omegle.
And truthfully, I'm trying. I don't understand why everybody's tops aren't off at this point. I just don't get it. I feel like
Fuck it,
JoJo's
you know
opened the
what?
door.
Fine. Whatever.
Oh
Wouldn't be the
boy,
first time.
topless Friday.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hi
There you
Josh,
go.
welcome back.
Josh, can I see your piercings?
He's like, welcome back.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah, but I can't see them.
How many of them?
Wait, I'm the only one.
All of them.
No, I feel guilty.
What do we have to do to get Josh better internet,
many?
better
And
microphone?
tell me, like,
What does he need?
All the
Josh,
piercings.
how can we help you?
I'm gonna
How
start
can
a
we help your
GoFundMe for
internet?
Josh.
I know.
Oh my god.
Jesus
I don't know what's going on.
Is this live right now?
Yes,
I
we're
hope
live.
this is not. Oh my
We're gonna have
god.
to end her in about 3
We're gonna
minutes.
get flagged.
We're gonna have to.
you are.
Yeah,
No,
we're gonna have to.
JoJo, step it up.
Show God titties on here. It's okay.
JoJo, step it up.
What's happening here, man?
Did I just see?
We're definitely getting
shirtless Enzo or like
Is that the
football,
show?
man?
That is
Somebody-
it. Oh,
I-
no.
Oh my!
I hope everyone
And you
enjoyed the
guys
show.
really thought that I was the creepiest one. You guys really
This
thought
is-
that it was
Oh
me.
my lord!
I'm so
Oh my
afraid of
God.
what's
Your
happening.
skin looks pretty soft.
Thank you.
I love this.
Why did I do this?
Oh my god.
Where's Melissa at?
Oh,
Oh, just
I love
lurking and
this
jacking off.
community.
Every
Every fucking morning I ask myself, why did I do that?
It's a fear boner.
Hey,
Okay.
don't pussy out now, Enzo.
God, dude.
What do you mean, Josh? Don't pussy out. Fuck, take your shit off too.
Good one, Preg.
Look at this old
I
lady
can't stop.
excited.
My face hurts from laughing.
Your face is gonna hurt
Yeah.
tomorrow too.
Spooky.
Jojo.
Everyone wants to see what you got
Oh
going
my
on.
What?
What?
Jojo, the slow man.
I'm free balling already, guys. He
Hey,
just,
you got going there, Jojo.
I don't know who Marvin Dale Jenkins Jr. is, but welcome to the chat.
Oh,
Hey, Marvin.
I don't know how
Marvin!
much I
Marvin's
don't
an
have on
artist. We
right
love Marvin.
Oh, what's up,
Marvin the
Marvin?
Martian.
Hey, Marvin.
What am I
Marvin is
looking
always
at?
in the
Is-
chat, and he
is-
says, "No one ever says my
that-
name." But look, Marvin, we all said it. Marvin.
I need to ask a question.
Okay.
JoJo's freaking me out right now.
Who is the circus?
Is that an ass?
When they refer to the circus crowd, or remember last night, Chad?
Is that me?
Remember he said
He said
something about
remember
the
last
circus.
night, Chad.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think back to last night. What's going on?
Wait,
Huh?
you know who I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and do you remember what he said? He kept saying that this was something for the circus crowd or something.
Island of Misfits.
I
Do you
don't remember that
remember?
part. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty sus because he said it like 5 or 6 times, man. And I'm like,
Who are
well,
you
who's the
talking
circus
about?
crowd?
Yeah, who you
Talking
talking
ab-
about?
Talking about Fest.
Go check your email.
Oh my god.
JoJo.
Exactly.
Who's Fest? Say the whole word.
A sexy
Fessler
babe.
Oh, don't trigger Bree.
Hey,
came
Chad,
into
check
our-
your notifications.
came into our group last
How
night.
about
and
Oh
Yeah,
he was
yeah,
like-
talking
Fester was
about
partying with us last night.
he was
He
talking
did,
about
huh?
somebody who is
Yeah.
the circus.
Hold
either
on.
the
Did
circus-
you guys let him on your stream with you?
No, he didn't
No,
come
he was
on
in
the
the chat.
stream. He was in chat,
Come into what?
hanging out.
Cool.
Cool. She's so dismissive.
Cool.
She's
just making sure.
plotting.
I'm just making sure he wasn't like on the screen with you guys. I mean,
She's gathering all the intel so she can make her play.
The documents.
And it
The
ain't gonna be
bodies.
pretty.
they're gonna come
The
out.
bodies.
Oh my god.
Jojo, is that a giant bottle of lube?
I can't say anything else about him.
Adam and Eve Lube.
Chad,
That's
Chad,
what
look
it
at
is.
Chad,
I feel like
look at Jojo.
Oh my lord!
What is happening right now? What is
Chad.
happening?
Chad.
Oh my god, I can't fucking breathe.
I'm sorry.
Oh my god. We're
I
getting cold.
recommend doing the ending music, Chad.
The ending music.
Yeah,
We need to get the hell. Okay, if
Yeah.
Jamie's recommending it,
Yeah,
then
I'm recommending the ending
all right,
music
guys.
for you, sir. Yeah. What's he doing?
hey guys, everybody, thank you for hanging out with us, and we'll see you guys next time on the Paranormal Chop
Love you,
Shop.
bam, bam.
Love you.
See you guys. Love you guys.
Peace out, everybody.
Love
See you next
you. Bye.
Friday. Tuesday on Chad's show.
Sweet Jesus.